Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Shooting the Shelve, Season 2 finale, Episode 52. 52. It feels like we've hit a DC milestone of some sort, and Curtis has his mic off, so I don't know if he's talking.
Am I good now?
There we go.
Okay. I don't know what happened.
It's all right. I was like, is he holding back?
No, we're having some technical difficulties.
Must be a StreamYard gremlins going on, because one of our guests is having struggles too. But we won't entirely put that on his plate. Got a lot of folks hopping in the chat. So hello everybody out there. Who we got out there today, Curtis?
We have got, let me scroll back up to the top. We got JMax77, Joseph Martinez, and Joe Gonzalez, member of the channel. I don't know that name. Inde Rackham. Yeah. Let us know how to phonetically say your name. Van Johnson, Legend Collector 1321. Patrick Boyle. We got Eddie out there. Stacy Lynn, Juan Diego Rincon, Dave Orkin, Steph Orkin, and that's all I see right now.
Excellent.
I'm sure we'll have some more.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this New Year's Eve special. Well, it's not really special, except it's earlier, but our guests are special in every way you want to apply that word. So, well, we've got one of them backstage. So, folks, please give a round of digital welcoming warmth to, and that just sounds like you peed all over your hands, to my oldest friend. I was trying to think of other adjectives there, but I'm just going to make it awkward. So, welcome, Shawn Skvarna.
It's all over my hands.
I didn't know you were that old, Shawn. I thought I was older than you.
I'm 45, so
yeah, I'm 46. So
oldest.
You are the oldest.
I have known him the longest.
Oh, gotcha.
Oldest
Curtis,
timeline, not oldest age.
Okay.
Yeah, Curtis, then me, then Jesse, and then the Duch is still like being born apparently because he loves to hold that over our heads all the time.
He's in diapers still.
Yeah, he's in diapers.
And not
He
the
had
old
his
man
diapers
kind.
changed, and that's why he's not here right now. So yeah.
Giving me crap one day because I had I wear New Balance shoes because they're cheap, but they fit my feet. He's like, "All right, old man shoes." I'm like, "What do you mean, old man shoes? Like, they're comfortable, they're inexpensive. I don't care."
Yeah, us again. Sorry, Trevor. Turn it off.
Oh, you love us, Trevor. That's why you're here.
Well, we do have Duch is supposed to be joining us. He's having some camera problems, so we'll see. We may have him back in here. We may not. We may have him just with audio, and you don't see his face, which actually is an upgrade. So we'll see how all that works.
This will be Curtis's favorite show if that happens, I'm sure.
There you go. We also have
It'll definitely be Anthony Halseal's favorite show.
He'll watch it this time with the Duch on it. Yeah.
We also have Prince Collections out there. Like you said, Trevor showed up. We've got Kent Pool Collects, and Jordan just popped in, Wholesome Warlock. So, and Darth Blaze. So now we're really popping. So we'll go ahead and get right into shelf selections while we wait for the Duch.
Before you do that, I do. No, I can do that one. I can do that later. Never mind.
You sure?
Yep.
Sure.
I'm sure. Yes.
Okay. All right. Shelf selections. Shelf selection number 1 comes from yours truly. This is G.I. Joe _customs with a Z. Customs. And I really like this crew. I like the size difference in this crew. I love. I don't know. For some reason, I saw this and I was like, this is a really cool group. I like that hooded Cobra Commander, the way that looks, and just the repaint on the Serpentor. And yeah, this group just really stuck out to me as I was going through the intranets this week.
That's really cool. I do really like that black and red color scheme looks great on almost everyone. It feels like it makes Cobra actually more menacing and threatening.
Definitely,
in
it
this vibe,
takes
I'm
out of the
digging it.
cartoon vibe.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a royal boob.
And weirdly though, I gotta say, Serpentor not being gold is throwing me. That's the only one that it's like Serpentor being gold just has that he look at me sort of thing that he was always about, you know.
Yeah.
But everybody else, and it's not like that's bad. I'm just saying, like, Serpentor to me is like he works being a sore thumb. But these other ones are great. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Once again, GI Joe _customs. All right. Next one is Jesse's.
So this is Rainier Art, RAYNIRART. There were two pictures in this one, but this shot particularly, I just really kind of love this whole like ethereal, like astral void kind of plane that they're on, with just Sif. That's Lady Sif from Marvel Legends, and I believe that is Ashfaloth, the horse from Lord of the Rings, the Eowyn or Arwen rides rather, from Toy Biz back 20 years ago. I just thought this was really, really cool. It had just that red on her uniform just kind of pops amongst all like the white and like the blues and stuff. I just thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get like the whole picture in there because it was like really long, but there's also like a reflection underneath if you go to the Instagram, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, it's just a very, very cool shot with the, it just looks like it's kind of in the clouds. So really neat. Okay. Next one is mine. And this is Human Max on Instagram, or Heyman Max. And it's just a badass Saint Nick. He's, Saint Nick joined the flock, and he's got that Xylona shield, and he's bulked up, and yeah, he's ready to take on anybody that's trying to invade their forest. So
he enrolled at their gym. I think someone made a T-shirt on Retro Rags, Xylona's Flex.
There you go.
This when they were doing the Father Christmas figure, I think a lot of people already had this in their heads. So I like that we're seeing somebody do this, and the shield pops. I love it for being with Father Christmas on top of that. That's great. I wouldn't have thought of that until I saw that photo. That's great.
The only Go ahead. I was just gonna say the only thing that threw me was like the shield and the staff combo. Like it just, I don't know. Typically, I don't think of people that have staffs also having shields. Like I would expect shield to be with like a sword or some sort of more dangerous weapon. But I do like the barbarian-esque muscle-bound body with the just the over robe and and everything. So yeah, it's just really cool looking.
Just try to take his presents.
There you go.
The thing that it's a great shot. It's a great custom. I love it. I do giggle a little bit just because, and I know this was probably the effect they were going for, but using the 2.0 leather loincloth piece on him, it just makes it look like he's wearing like tighty whities. And just, I mean, you're showing off the thighs, and all that. Like, I think that was the whole point of it. It cracks me up a little bit. And I don't know if you've never watched Morgan on Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's a badass with that staff. That's true.
That staff's got a pretty pointy end on the other end.
But usually when you're having a staff, you're doing two hands on it, so it's hard to hold a shield.
For sure.
I would like to see this with the brown bearded one. I think the brown bearded head would look really cool on this build. So yeah. Next one is from Jesse.
So this is from Tora Nerd, aka Hank. I felt, well, I'm not going to get into my whole embarrassing story about that, but Curtis hooked me up with making sure I knew he was on Instagram, and I was already following. I just somehow didn't see this picture because the algorithm. But this is a combo of Jacob Marley with some of the Super 7 Captain Dreadstar or Dead Star. One of the worst figures that I have, and that the line the worst, not calling it the worst. You can go back to OffWorld from Friday night and hear what we all think about Super 7.
Yeah, this is
but this was
Greg Shaw, by the way.
Oh, did I say Hank? I meant
Yeah.
Greg. Sorry. So many names, real people don't stick in my head. But just the ghost ship. I mean, it's totally giving Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. I just really, yes. Oh, and there he's in the chat right now. Sorry, Greg. Sorry.
Yeah, I love the all the background stuff that he's got in there, the railing, the like the ghostly lighting behind him and stuff. Yeah, this came out really good. I like this a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of personality in this. That like I can hear him doing the yo ho, the pirates like for me, and then and really bad eggs and all that stuff like in Pirates of the Caribbean, while he's like probably steering onto ground and making everybody scared to death of him being at the wheel. But I like it.
Yeah, yeah, the vibes this gives out, like I'm hearing the creaking of the wood, whatever that, there's some sort of like ethereal ghost energy going on in the background and everything. Like, yeah, it just feels there's a lot of atmosphere in this, and it's a really great shot. If you go check out Tornerd, I believe he does have a behind the scenes picture for it as well.
Well, and I love the attention to detail here because everybody knows that pirate skellies always drink XXX alcohol. That's like their favorite. So yeah, that works out well.
Try the apples.
Yeah. This one was my pick. This is Cap_Wolf_photos. And it's a combination of Ghostbusters with the Jacob Marley, with the surprise helm head. And I just thought this was really cool. I love the kind of blurred out Ghostbusters in the background. You got one that fell down on the ground shooting at it. You've got the cases and the keys and the chains and everything hanging off of him, and the proton beams on it. I just thought this came out really cool. I love this shot.
Shawn, go ahead.
No, I absolutely love it. And this Christmas season in particular, I've seen so many times where they're like, they're talking to Bill Murray when he's in Scrooge, and the whole you'll be visited by 3 ghosts, and then the next image right under that is him in the courtroom for Ghostbusters 2 with the proton pack on. So that just only underscores this, and it's about time that we crossed lines with that, because that figure was perfect to do that.
You mean crossing the streams?
No, crossing lines. We don't want to cross the streams. Crossing the streams is bad. We've
Who are the ghosts in the courtroom? Is like the Scolari brothers or something?
Scolari brothers.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I really like. I'm a little like Steve Buscemi, where it's like mixing lines. Sometimes it's a little weird to me, but this is perfect. I love that they went there.
Oh,
well, we can circle back to it.
Spoiler alert
later
from Trevor says, spoiler alert, that pirate shot is on Toy Photography Bomb tomorrow night. So there you go. And I've talked about that show quite a bit on here, but listen, if you like what we do with shelf selections, but you want it with people that are smarter and actually know about photography, check out Toy Photography Bomb on Trevor's channel, the 1/6 Shooter YouTube channel, because it's like what we do, only much, much, much better. So there you go. All right, next shot was from Jesse, and we both picked out some red G.I. Joe type things this week,
and ghostly things with the Marley body.
Yeah,
so yeah, there's a little crossover. This is Stronox Customs, or Stronox _custom_figures over on Instagram. They do a lot of really cool customs. I just really liked, I forget what they called this on the, I don't know if it was like the Hiss Viper or something like that. But I just really like this looks like a uniform for someone like off the set of a movie. Like they really dialed in the details and made it really look really realistic. And I just thought they did a really nice job on it. Like the weathering on the shield and everything, just really like that. Again, going that whole black and red on Cobras is I still like the classic blue, but like these feel like more like elite in your face kind of characters. So
yeah, I love that shield there. Just the little design work across the middle and the whole. I mean, who doesn't like red and black color scheme? I mean, it just works, and I think this is really cool. I could see like an army of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Was this the Alley Viper originally, like the classified version, or is this like more custom pieces together with it?
The base is the Alley Viper. I don't know.
Okay.
I know they've done a couple different versions of the Alley Viper, like that that general mold. So I'm not sure what the full base of it is, but it's the base is the Alley Viper.
Now, if they would have done this when I was collecting them as a kid, this would have been one of my absolute favorite figures from Cobra, because this looks menacing. You don't want to mess with this guy, and he just has this like badass vibe that when I was a kid, I remember looking at that figure going, bright orange. Like, really? It's like he's apparently, it's like Robin to Batman. Let's dress the kid bright. He's going to be the bullseye, and I'll go in and get the bad guys. You know? So that always perplexed me as a kid with that color scheme. But this completely seals the deal that this is working for me.
Nice.
Yep. Okay. Here was my next one. And yeah, just Spider-Man's enjoying some pizza at Christmas time. You know, just what's better than three Spider-Men, some pizza. So, and this is 6-inch Legends on Instagram. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I just thought it was a cool little shot, little Christmassy, cool shot.
I so want Tom Holland to go, "You're 2 minutes late. I'm not paying for that."
Yeah, never pay full price for late pizza. That's true.
What I love that, like in Spider-Man 2, that was one of those things. He did that whole ballet bit with all the brooms and the mops coming out of the closet while he's trying to get that sorted, and then pizza time. It's late. I'm not paying him for that. I just love how it all fell apart for him. So if they played that up again, oh yeah, that's great.
Greg pointed out that is the Walmart exclusive Crimson Alley Viper. I just pulled it up to look. It looks like they did a lot of heavy customizing to the coloring. So it looks like all the parts are original.
Okay.
But a lot of, they took it from looking like a plastic toy to a realistic.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for that, Greg.
Any thoughts on this one, Jesse?
Sorry, my mind is just going to a weird place with just being in the my wife is going to kill me page so long.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this and my mind immediately went somewhere wrong, but it's but it's, once I can get out of my own way, it's a fun picture. I like the Christmas tree is great. I do like seeing all three of them in the shot together. I really liked that movie, and having them all come together was fun. So seeing this is, I don't know, it just feels like they're visiting him on his first Christmas in his apartment alone after everything went down.
Mm-hmm.
They somehow figured a way to come back over to say hi. So, there is a nice heartwarming picture here, other than what my brain wanted me to see initially. So.
Multiverse Travises all visiting each other with pizza. Yeah, that's no good.
Exactly.
Then they need that triple X on the bottle for something else.
Next one is Jesse's.
This is Toys and Photography. We've featured their stuff quite a few times on this feature, but I love this shot of you got some Zilurnian guards and a Silverhorn Sentry leading a forest troll out of the woods into like might be a snow battle. And after watching the entire season of Blue Eye Samurai yesterday, I really love kind of that snow in the woods look, because that's very heavily in the design of that show. And just, I mean, I picked this before I saw that, but I always like that kind of look. And I know we probably don't get a lot of snow battles in movies and stuff, because that would probably be absolutely miserable to film and be a part of, but it just looks really cool. And just the very the energy you have of these characters is like they're about ready for that charge of the enemy to come at them there, and I love it.
What do you think about the forest troll with Xylona's flock?
I'm fine with it. I like it. I actually had I mean, it had the Hongo head on it for the longest time, but I had my forest troll with my Xylona's flock for a while. And if I ever get more, if they do a new version of it, I might put one with them eventually. Because it's a forest troll and they live in the forest.
Yeah, I think according to the bio, he's part of Arethyr, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I always thought he should be with Xylona's flock. So, but I also have my Thalen. I have her with an ice troll too. So sometimes you just gotta go against the lore and throw together what works. So,
I mean, most of my trolls are with Arethyr, but I'll have one with the flock.
Yeah, I love the shot. Looks really cool. I like the troll with the Xylona's flock. I think it works really well, color wise, and just feels right. And yeah, being in the forest with the snow and stuff is really neat.
For me, for starters, I can hear music in my head and imagine the sequence already. This is like a perfect storyboard for what I'd want to see if they did a live action or even an animated Mythic Legions, anything. And on top of that, the way some of it is, the way that the background is kind of out of focus a little bit, but the light is really picking up the elements, especially on the forest troll. I can't not think of Nate Bartsch vibes with how that looks from where I'm looking at it, which, I mean, him being the artist for Mythic Legions, it's like, either way you look at it, it's a win. I absolutely love this piece.
Rob says, breaking the lore. And then we actually have a bonus one this week because Jesse and I picked the same photo, which sometimes happens. And this is the photo. And the photo is great. But the behind the scenes on how this was made blows my mind, because basically took that Lex Luthor and threw like some saran wrap over it, and then did like one of those compressed air cans and did the shot, so that like ice formation over the Lex Luthor is really just some saran wrap with the air can. And I just think it's absolutely amazing. I have never sent a photo to Trevor to recommend it for the photo bomb, because he knows what he's doing and stuff. But I sent this one to Trevor because I would love to hear his breakdown of this shot. This is Action Figure Snaps on Instagram, and I absolutely was blown away by this. I think it's just amazing, and like I said, Jesse picked it as well, so I'm sure he's got something to say.
I picked, the first thing I saw was the behind the scenes picture. I saw that first before I saw this. I don't know how that happened, but I was like, what's going on here? I was like, oh, is that going to be like an effect? And then I swiped or found it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I was like, I'm going to pick this. I was like, Curtis is probably going to pick it too if he sees it, because it's Superman. And so I had a backup picture just in case, but yeah, this one was really cool. No pun intended. But yeah, I like, again, it's outside, it's in nature, the landscape and everything, you can feel the moment of this battle happening. So I thought it was really cool.
Shawn, you're a big Superman guy. What are your thoughts?
Hearing the behind the scenes, especially, it's amazing to see this. And on top of that, I mean, like you said, I'm a Superman guy, and I love the capturing of this, because I can't think. I don't look at a lot of Superman toy photography compared to like Mythic Legions or other things like that, but it's really, really cool to see somebody going with the freeze breath to do something like this, because that is definitely more of a challenge compared to, oh, he's flying through Metropolis, or oh, he's punching Doomsday or whatever.
I see a lot more of the heat vision than I do the breath.
Yes.
So it was cool to see the breath on this one.
Yeah, and just hearing about how he did the saran wrap and all. I mean, that's one of the things that my mind does not work that way. So when I hear the behind the scenes of how they make this stuff look the way it looks, it's like, you know, if I wore a hat, I'd say, hey, my hat is off to you for all of that, because that is something my mind doesn't even process to go, hey, what about saran wrap? I'd just be like, I can't put him in ice. It's a figure. I'm going to break it. I'm not going to do this, because I'd be the literal person. It has to be ice. And yeah, it's genius how you come up with this stuff.
Yeah, I like the nature background part of it too, like the, you know, the water coming right up to the shore there, and and then the trees in the background, and the sun like right in the perfect spot. Like I don't know. Like I said, if you want to like hear like actual, you know, photography like nerds break this down and talk about why a shot works or not, check out Trevor's show, because this is not the show for that. I just look at this and I go, that's fucking cool. So there you go. It's cool.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we didn't grab any shots from him today, but I saw a bunch of stuff Sig was posting over on Instagram. Was it the area? Is it the Area 41? Area 42 Earth Station. Go check out. He was doing some outdoor shots, and he lives out around Vegas and stuff. Some really cool cosmic-y looking shots, and his whole thing with the Kringle custom he did with the story and the Dark Riders and everything is really cool. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well.
Okay. I did have one more thing I wanted to pop up on here real quick. This is for any of the customizers out here, because I think like Len's been doing these deals like each day leading up to New Year. And I think today's, if you're a customizer, today's is really freaking cool. And it's make any figure a Wolf King Customs value bundle. So basically you buy a figure from Wolf King Customs, and Len is going to throw in parts with it to make it what he's calling a challenge bundle. So you don't know what parts you're going to get, but you're paying for the figure by itself. Like you're paying the price for the figure, and some of his figures he's got marked 20% off. So you're paying the price for the figure, but then he's throwing in these extra parts for free, and you get it. And then you've got to come up with how to paint it and make it into a full custom. And I just think it's a really cool idea. He does have some other bundles that are already on there that like are spelled out. Like it says, you know, you buy this figure and you get these parts with it, but these are kind of a mystery bundle. And I just think it's a really cool idea. He does have free shipping all year long on anything over $100, but right now he's also got free shipping for anything $50 and up. You do have to put in the promo code, which is New Year, all caps, one word. So if you do that, you get free shipping on it, and then you get, you know, that challenge bundle with, you know, with the figure that you're buying. So I just think that's a cool idea. And so going into our first giveaway, I actually purchased one of those. So I purchased a Lord Bashadi figure from Len. And he's going to make it into a challenge bundle for whoever our first winner is of this giveaway. So I would say let's do, Jesse, if you could run a tool for me.
Yep.
The free shipping code is New Year, all one word, all caps. So if we could do like hashtag New Year.
You said all caps?
Yep. And then that'll be, we'll do this Bashadi one. So you'll get the Lord Bashadi figure as well as, and look who just joined us. We got the Lord Bashadi himself jumped in the chat. So you will get a Lord Bashadi figure and a challenge bundle of parts from Len if you win. So put in that hashtag New Year, all caps. And I do see that we've got the Duch with us now.
What's up, guys?
Without camera, which is really the way that our viewers prefer to see Duch.
I was going to say, if Anthony Houseo might actually watch this because he's going to be tricked by thinking I'm not here. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I did see somebody. Who was it? Oh, they're going too fast now. Santos Rivera, all one word. Get rid of that space if you want to be entered in.
Yep. All one word, all caps, New Year. And that's also the code that you'll use on Wolf King Customs if you want free shipping over $50. So, I was just thinking, Duch, if you log into StreamYard from your phone, we should be able to get audio and video. I don't know what's going on with your camera, but also your audio is a little echoey. So I don't know what your computer's doing to you today, but maybe good if you pop in on your phone.
So that's the funny thing, right? Okay. So I had cracked my screen a few weeks back, and I had it replaced.
Okay.
And ever since I replaced that, my camera hasn't been working, and I've actually got a claim in with them on my phone.
Oh, so you have my camera on your phone or your computer right now?
Correct. So nobody wants to see me. I will play around with the audio here a little bit. Something might have gotten tweaked.
Now, have we looked to see if maybe Anthony Houseo sabotaged both your cameras?
He is saying it was
I had them both at Legion's Con. So...
Yeah, Steven's saying that you're stealing his material, complaining about cell phones.
Apparently, I will be spending the New Year shopping for a webcam, which...
Gotcha. All right, folks. Well, we've got, let me just pop this up real quick. It looks like we got 33 entries. We got 46 people. We'll give that a couple more minutes. If you're interested in this Lord Bushati challenge package, put in that hashtag New Year, all caps, all one word, and we'll get back to that in just a minute. So
I do have one more thing I want to bring up before we get into the next bit.
What's this?
I want to give a shout out to this up and coming artist in the community. I think his name is Krusty the Clown or something like that. No, this is a custom Curtis did as a tribute to our friend and friend of the channel, Joe Gonzalez, with an S, not a Z. That is definitely my phone auto correcting that, or my iPad, Joe. I tested it out today. I typed your name and it did it automatically. So even though I know I'm spelling it right, I don't pay attention when autocorrect kicks in. But yeah, this is a custom Joe did, and Kurt was giving me some grief because I didn't pick it as one of my picks, because I wanted to highlight as a special thing to highlight Joe and Curtis. This is just a killer dwarf, if you want to say anything about your thoughts behind it. And he also had Emil do an awesome reading of his bio and story. So yeah.
If you want to listen to Emil read the bio that I created for this, or the little tale, I guess, little story that I created for this character, check out my Instagram, or it's in the Cabal as well. Emil did a great job, and I really appreciate it. Joe a while back did a tribute custom for me and Jesse, and he just did an amazing job. And I knew that I wanted to do one for him. I just needed to find the right parts. It's one of those things where I had certain parts sitting on my desk for a long time, and it just didn't feel right. And then I ended up picking up the miner set from Legion Shop at Legion's Con. And I was like, okay, this is going to work now, because, Joe is a miner, not like an underage person, but like somebody that actually works in mines. And so I had, this old, kind of handheld cannon thing from Headhunter Customs that I modified. I chopped the barrel down quite a bit. And then, inserted like a plug from a Mythic Legion hammer so that drill bit would pop in. yeah, it just came together, and we love Joe. Joe's an amazing guy. No matter when we do a show, whether it's OffWorld or this show, we could pop in at 3:00 in the morning. Joe will be there. Great supporter of the channel, great friend, great guy. So yeah, I was happy to do this, and I'm glad that he liked it. And I think he said he's even adopting the name that I came up with for his D&D character coming up. So that works.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, let's roll this giveaway. We got 36 out of 43 people.
I will say I've already purchased the Lord Bushati, and I told Len to hold off on shipping because I'm gonna have it shipped directly to the person. So whoever does win, try to get with me as quick as you can with your shipping information. That way I can get it to Len and he can get it right out this week. So all right. Let's roll it. The Bushati Challenge Pack. Who is up for the challenge? Mecha Rekka.
Mecha, congratulations.
Hi, Mecha Heine.
Congrats.
No. Oh,
All right.
Oh,
No, that doesn't work. All right. So Mecha Rekka, hit me up Instagram or Facebook. Give me your shipping information and I'll get it to Len and we'll get that right out for you. So we will do another few giveaways later on in the show. So stay tuned for that. But Jesse, I think you had something else lined up for us to discuss.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think so. Top 5 thing.
Oh,
God, I hope so.
Oh,
Yeah. Otherwise, we sent you pictures for nothing.
Well, he makes me send him those pictures weekly, or else he won't talk to me.
Top
so
5.
we're doing our. Yeah. Now we're not. This is the top 5. I proposed this to the guys. Like, give me your top 5 things that you had been waiting for to add to your collection. Or the top 5 things you added to your collection this year that just made you the most excited, the most happy. There was no category breakdowns or, no lines, this or that. Some of them applied their own rules to how they picked what they picked, and that's totally fine. But we're going to just jump right in with number 5.
What order are we? Should we move our things around?
I believe
so that we go in that order?
Going, let's see. I believe we're going Curtis, Duch, Shawn, and Jesse.
Okay.
So you can all scream at me when I pull up the wrong picture first. So
that's fine. So before we get to my first one,
I believe in you.
Just so you know, my personal rules for this, I did not include anything 4 Horsemen at all, because we're doing a show. Legion's Lounge is doing a show on the 8th of January, and I will be on that show talking about our top 4 Horsemen figures of the year. And I didn't want to spoil any of those picks beforehand. So, and the other thing is that obviously we love everything 4 Horsemen, and this would easily be just a straight only 4 Horsemen list. So I tried to pick out 5 things that are not 4 Horsemen that maybe people hadn't heard as much about or seen as much from. So that's my own personal rules. Doesn't apply to anybody else. Go ahead.
And I would like to say as well, probably good to start with this, Curtis. Yeah, my personal thing going with this list was just 5 things that made me really happy this year. So kind of same thing. Don't look at this as like my top 5 of these lines or anything. Like, that's not necessarily the same thing. You're just looking around my toy room. What have I acquired this year that just has brought me a lot of joy that I'm really happy to have added?
Duch just has 5 pictures of me, just so you guys know. It was just 5 things that really made
it. You live in his toy room now?
It would have been Jesse too, but he's been oddly resistant to me adding him to my collection. So
I don't think that's an oddly I mean, you've known me long enough. So rolling into Curtis's number 5.
Serpentor, and I know he came out in November or December of last year. I didn't get him till this year, so for me, this was Jesse said something we got this year that we enjoyed and made us happy, and I kind of went with things that I played with or messed with a lot, And I just love this figure with the chariot. It hits me in all the nostalgic, bug. I wasn't the hugest G.I. Joe collector growing up, but I always loved Serpentor. I love the story behind, how he was created, and I just love the overall look. So yeah, this was a cool toy. I really enjoyed this one, and I think I got this in a trade from Eugene Unick, and yeah, just absolutely love this thing.
Excellent. All right, next should be Duch's pick.
Oh, you guys aren't even going to talk about it, huh? That's cool. No, that's fine.
Why are we going to talk about your picks?
No, it's fine. You don't have to talk about what you think or what, whatever. That's fine. No, go ahead.
It's beautiful, Curtis. I love his green nipple tassels.
Fuck you.
I've never been a huge G.I. Joe guy, but I did like the movie a lot as a kid. So, and I think Serpentor is cooler than Cobra Commander. Yep, everyone flame me in the chat. That's fine.
I agree.
No, I'm right there with you. I don't like the movie at all, but I do like Serpentor. I like the opening of the movie. The opening of the movie is the best part of the movie and the only part of the movie I'll watch. But Serpentor, when I was a kid, was like the regality, if that's even a term, but his regalness and all that versus Cobra Commander screaming his head off constantly always was like, yeah, he's a more interesting leader for Cobra. And I'm right there with Curtis. The story of how they created him was mesmerizing to me as a kid, with the freaking Vlad the Impaler's DNA being part of it. Like, man, that was cool. So this is a great figure.
Okay.
I agree. Coco is a great
Steven,
movie.
You're wrong, but that's fine. You're used to it.
I'm sorry. What's Coco?
Coco, the Disney movie.
No, my boxer mix Coco. You guys have seen pictures. She's
never heard of
She
Coco.
is cooler than Serpentor. I'll send you pictures later. She's really cute.
Okay.
Please.
And Steve does love dogs, so that makes sense.
All right.
Okay.
Kurt, I didn't realize we were going to be getting into our
Cobra
opinions.
Commander. Okay, gotcha.
Of our critique of other people's picks. I thought we were just going to talk about our picks. So,
well, I
wasn't
the list
to
would go by
discuss it.
really quick if we weren't talking about it, but that's fine.
Well,
okay.
I didn't think the list was going to take the whole episode either. So,
okay, all right, go ahead.
Jesse has places to be. He ain't got time to hang out with us all day.
Yeah, do your thing. That's fine.
Okay, Matt's number 5 pick.
Yeah, so this is after Shawn and I did an episode on Legends of Grayskull, really diving into like the VHS rentals and everything else. And so after that episode, I had to go out and get some of the Magic Window He-Man VHSs. And these just that artwork on front alone. I don't even have a VCR anymore. I need to get one because I would like to play some of these. But yeah, this is just a little side collection that I started this year that has just made me really happy seeing them lined up. I mean, it's nostalgia overload for me.
Gotcha. Yeah. I
think if anyone would like to talk about it, feel free, even though Jesse doesn't want us to.
I will, because I want to talk about your thing here. I've seen the Legends of Grayskull episodes where you guys have talked about some of these episodes, and it was cool seeing you get into this year and kind of collect these. I remember these old VHS cases, and you're right, like seeing the artwork and stuff on them has been really neat. So yeah, I'm really happy for you on this. Are you planning on like getting more of these, or are you trying to collect them all, or is it just you're happy with what you got?
No, the goal is to complete all of the Magic Window collection, both He-Man and She-Ra is my goal. Should be relatively easy. I mean, there's a couple that are a little rarer, but none of them are overly expensive or anything. It just but yeah, they did release them in the RCA, which is the black and red, just slip case, and then the Magic Window had all the clamshells. And growing up, I had 3 tapes growing up, and they were all Magic Windows. So I've got to do it Magic Window style.
Gotcha. Cool.
I'll comment. I don't have a lot to say because I didn't know what these were until I think I don't know if it was on one of the pickup episodes or pickups at the beginning of one of the Offworld episodes, but I do remember you talking about these before. So it's cool that you found something and you've got like a side collection to like just the figures to put up here, that enhances the appreciation of the figures and everything. And I think that's pretty cool.
And for
Thank you.
my, I mean, I never watched the rentals when I was a kid because every afternoon there was an episode on. So I typically I'd see them at the video store and be like, all right, they're there, but you know, I'm watching it daily. But then in '96, when I had a summer job and I had disposable income, and I went to the video store and there they were for sale. That was what got me back into He-Man for the first time before even 2000X, after I had left it at childhood. And yeah, it reawoken my love for it, and also reawoken my imagination. I started like writing little like fan fiction and crap like that even that summer, because I had those videos. And I still remember my mom heard the theme song from outside because I had my windows open that summer, and just, you know, I'd have my TV on, and she came upstairs when the transformation hit. She goes, "What did you buy today?" And she just was like grinning from ear to ear, because she's like, "So now that you're in your late teens, I'm gonna hear this again because I heard it every day of your childhood." I'm like, "You're darn right."
Hey, and especially for me, I forget not everyone here follows Legends of Grayskull, but like, because with me being younger, like the rentals were all I had. It was, by the time I was watching TV, it was only on USA Network and we didn't have cable. So, like, if it wasn't on a VHS release, I never saw it until the DVDs came out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I never even knew there were tapes to rent for He-Man. I don't think, like, I didn't know, like, we didn't have a VCR till I was like 8 or 9. And at that point, all I wanted to watch was movies, whether they were. Chris, did you just super chat our show?
Huh? What had happened? What
At least he didn't throw it at you like it leads. Super chat.
I mean, at least I'd have it and not have to wait 6 months for it to come through YouTube. We got a super chat from Curtis Ackerman.
Wow,
Cobra
that's a
Commander is
surprise.
basically Skeletor. Nothing new or exciting. Serpentor is genetically superior and cooler. I don't know if you can be genetically cooler, but that's what he wrote.
Oh, you definitely can. Absolutely.
Genetically superior, and then separately, also, he's cooler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can support.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for the super chat, Curtis Ackerman. Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you. I had to throw a super chat out there because I was getting withdrawal because my wife is going to kill me 2 weeks in a row. So
you could have just PayPal'd me that, Curtis.
it's not the same. It's not the same. All right, Shawn, number 5.
All right,
Number 5.
Shawn's number 5 pick.
Yeah. For starters, my wife's going to kill me. Jeremy DeWitt revealed this on the show one weekend. And once he got into the whole thing of, you know, the light up feature, so it looks like Bowser's breathing fire. And then also on top of that, the putting the water in it, and it has like the smoke coming out of his mouth. That was instantly like, that's awesome, because I don't know too many figures that have that kind of stuff going on anymore. And it feels like my childhood again. But on top of it, just in general, like when I finally got this, and I intended them to be for me and just put it on my shelf, and my kid just was like eating this thing up all summer. He always wanted to play with them. He got out the Mario and Luigi and Toad that I got too. And it's just one of those toys that I will take him off the shelf and just like examine him and just have some fun with him every now and then. And I don't know too many figures that are more like cartoonish that actually give me that much joy, but damn it, Bowser does. I just really enjoy this figure. It's like you're holding childhood in your hands on a couple different levels, just, you know, having the nostalgia and the fun of this.
Yeah, I mean, DeWitt brings out some real junk, like real silly bullshit. And it makes him happy, and that's great. But
Mhm.
normally I see his stuff and I'm like, what is this crap? He brought this out, and I was kind of like that at first. I'm like, really? This guy bought this figure from the movie and stuff. And then he turned out the lights in
Mhm.
the room, and he hit the button, and all of a sudden this thing lights up and starts breathing fire. And it may be the coolest kids figure that came out this year. I mean, this thing is spectacular. And I immediately, same as you, I immediately bought it for my son. He loved it. Like this thing it's pretty awesome for sure.
I agree with you there. I saw it when Jeremy put it on the show. I thought it was pretty cool. I don't have enough attachment to Mario and all of them to buy it myself, but I was tempted. But it was.
This is
I
true.
think his goes the other way, Joe. He'll light him up and he breathes in fire.
Yeah.
No, but this is it's a really cool looking figure. I've seen it on the shelf a bunch of times, and like I said, even though I don't have a huge attachment to it, it's been one that's been tempting because the play feature of it is really cool, and it just looks like such a fun character on a shelf. But
it's one that if you don't own this, you should at least look up a video of somebody using the light up feature in the dark, because it is, right here it looks okay, but when it's in the dark and that light up feature goes, like, this thing turns into a badass. So
yes.
Yeah, this is definitely one I've been keeping an eye on for the clearance sales like this. And the same as Jesse, I've looked at it. It's awesome. I have not been able to pay full price yet, but if I find it on a discount, I'll definitely be picking it up.
It's only like what, $25-$30. So like, it's not a crazy price for how big it is.
Right. So if it goes, half off.
If I see it for half off, I might grab it at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of wonder, what do you think?
Dueling Super Chat. Serpentor gets his ass handed to him just like Coco by G.I. Joe, and then he whines like a child as Coco laughs. I don't know if I can ever not call Cobra Commander Coco again.
I'm still picturing it like you guys are talking about my dog, so this is even better. And I'd like to point out real quick, Curtis, like that super chat was technically from you, because I'm sure he is using the "my wife is going to kill me" super chat money to pay for this. So that one is still from Curtis.
I think once Serpentor got involved, they took on so like before Serpentor, I think Cobra Commander was basically Skeletor. After Serpentor got involved, I think they changed the dynamic to where Cobra Commander was now Starscream and Serpentor was Megatron. Like, that's the dynamic that they took on. So, and I was a Starscream fan. So yeah, I liked Cobra Commander better after Serpentor was in the picture, because then he was kind of playing that sabotage kind of role, and I liked that a lot better. So, but thank you for the super chat of my own money returned to me. So,
one last thing about Bowser before we move on. What do you guys think he would look like with like a realistic paint job?
That could be fun.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of sculptural details. I mean, it looks good for what it is, what it's supposed to be, but it's not like it's got a lot of like, sculpted like lines and scales.
Does he not have the scales? I thought he did, and I really can't tell from Jesse's picture right now.
It's not enough that I think you could do like a super realistic paint job without adding some texture to him. But
gotcha.
I don't know. Cool.
So there's a way to give away like memberships to the channel, and I was trying to pull that up. I can't figure it out.
Joe does that on Dorclair's show, and I have no idea how he does it. So maybe Joe can tell us in the chat how he does that, because I don't know how you do that either. So
I think you have to buy them first, and then there's a way to give them away. Like,
oh, okay.
As the owner of the channel, it told me there's like a button you can hit, and it'll just give out 5 randomly to people watching. But it has to be during a live. I don't know how to do it. So I thought I figured it out, but haven't yet. So keep looking.
Well, then Jesse, number 5.
My number 5. I don't even remember what I picked. Yes, I do. It is the Captain Carter shield from the Hasbro Legends or Marvel Legends from Hasbro. Just got this in. Was some Christmas money from Amazon. I've had the Cap shield for a while. Actually, I think I got it like the final week of Falcon and the Winter Soldier being on TV. Or like the last episode dropped and everything. So getting this, I really do like Peggy Carter as Captain Carter in that alternate reality, not the one in the live action, but the one from What If. And I just thought this was, I haven't had it very long, barely a week, but it's just a fun, it's, not much you can do with it, but look at it. And I know when Sean's kids came over with the Captain America shield, they loved picking it up and posing with that. So, just had to do this one as one of my top 5 things this year.
I mean, I'll jump in and say that I don't have any attachment to the character other than not liking the character. But I know that you like the character, and I know that you were excited when you got this, and I'm very happy for you because I think this is something cool to add to your collection. So I'm glad that you got this. Also did see Joe says that as far as gifting it, he says same place you do super chats from, but then Trevor said he thinks you can only do it from a desktop, which is probably why I've never seen it because I'm usually on my phone for these shows. So just FYI.
Well, I am doing it from the desktop, so I will.
I think he meant like when people are like watching.
Oh, here we go.
Like Joe does.
Here we go.
Gotcha.
No, I can do it right now because I've got it on. I've got the YouTube channel on the other screen over here.
But Schmerberberger says that he loves the Cap Carter character. So
thank you.
There you go.
She was awful in Multiverse of Madness. I 1,000,000% agree with this. And I'm going to back up Eric LeBron here. Welcome, Eric. Don't forget to put out your Figure and Fantasy calendar from Trevor Williams at midnight tonight.
Yep. Got it ready to go.
All right. So, well, I think I just figured out how to do it.
Says, does Curtis like anything? Yes, I do. Just there's also things that I don't like. So,
yes.
Like what I like, I don't like what I don't likes.
So
Sean?
next up is going to be our number 4
pick.
Oh, sorry.
Duch? They don't want to talk about your shield?
I don't know. You talked enough for everybody, I think.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, when he reviewed when he revealed it the other day, I'm like, yeah, this is probably up there for him because it's like I like Captain Carter, but Jesse likes Captain Carter more, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's cool, and the fact that he gets this as an extra added bonus of him loving that character, and honestly, I kind of dig the fact that her shield is so unique from Cap's in that way. I like how they designed that. So I do like that you got one or the other, his and hers, basically, which is funny. So yeah, that's awesome.
It's 1-to-1. It's like the Iron Man helmet, the different items they've put out from that. I forget what the subline of the Marvel Legends stuff is, but it's like the 1-to-1 scale cosplay style. I mean, it's plastic, you can definitely tell it's plastic, but it's got some heft to it. It's pretty nice. So yeah.
Duch, anything? All right. I will say for anybody that is a Captain Carter fan, if you haven't watched What If Season 2 yet, there's a very terrible episode that you'll love with her in it. So FYI.
Cool.
All right.
Duch is he muted himself, so
Okay.
I don't know if he knows he did it, but he's muted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I was still playing around with settings, so
Okay.
all right.
yeah. But I'm glad Jesse has it.
Steven says it's probably tiny because it's for a girl.
Here we go.
All right. Next.
Fired.
Before we move on to number 4, do we have another giveaway, Curtis?
I do. I do. Did you guys? Is it just because I've got 3 giveaways total myself. Do you
I
guys
sent you
have anything?
the 2 I had.
What's that?
I sent you the 2 I had.
Oh, I didn't know those were for giveaways. I thought those were just you sharing because you said these are cool. So
No,
I didn't know those.
you asked for stuff for giveaways, and I was like,
I
hey,
did,
go.
but then you sent those, and you said
Yeah, we all totally knew he meant those were giveaways, Curtis. That's just you.
You sent those 2 pictures, and you said those. Oh no, then Duch said those are fun. And then you said I have a bunch of different sets, but I didn't.
I
know
was
the
just
first
talking
two
about.
giveaways.
I sent those 2 as giveaways. I was saying, yeah,
Okay.
I have multiple different ones.
Well, I don't have those up. If you want to pull up the picture, are you doing that as a giveaway together or each one individually?
Probably each one individually to stretch it out. You know.
Okay.
I'm putting water in my water soup.
Okay. Well, why don't you pull up my number 4, and then after I talk about my number 4, you can throw up your picture, or I can throw it up. I think I got it up here. Here we go.
I don't have my pictures ready.
Here we go. My number 4.
Okay.
My number 4 is the Crocker thing, whatchamajig, Fury Toys from Big Bad Toy Store. Obviously, this one has the Max Bird lifeguard set with it. This one, I just love looking at it. It's so cool. It doesn't have a lot of articulation. It's not going to be something that you get into like super dynamic poses. It comes with like 3 different necks to where you can look left, look right, or look forward. So it's not like he doesn't even have like super neck articulation. So if you're looking for something very articulated, this is not the character. But something about this thing just makes me smile every time I see it. I keep it up on the top of my DTOFs. I look at it every day. And I just think it's just, especially with this Max Bird set, it just cracks me up. And so I had to put this on the list because it just, I don't know, makes me smile. So Kevin in boots, I like this. This is what I like. So
it is a fun figure. I will definitely give it that. Very impressive in all the pictures I've seen. So.
It does. It looks amazing. Like I said, not the greatest articulation, but it does look really good. So, Shawn, you got any thoughts on this one?
Every time you showed this off on OffWorld, it would get me to chuckle because the suit itself on it just kills me. I love that there's personality because of that. The figure itself, like very nicely detailed, very, very well sculpted in that way. So, yeah, I could see why you like it so much. Every time that you show it off, I'm just like, yeah, I buy it.
I think this to me is like Jesse's goat that makes him like, you know what I'm talking about? The one that makes him like chuckle and giggle and snort. Like that's what this is for me. Like this, just for whatever reason, I just look at it and it just makes me happy. So
it's a cool looking figure. I do love the Max Bird set on it. I think the regular version with like the jacket or the hat or whatever it comes with is pretty cool looking too. It's definitely one I like wouldn't mind adding at some point, but I'm just so focused on other things that I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, it's definitely a cool looking figure, and yeah, the lifeguard gear on it is hilarious.
Schmurberger. Let's see. This is him, and this is Magnus next to him. So he's, probably about 8.5 inches tall. So, yeah. There you go.
All right. So what are we doing this for the giveaway next?
Do you have your picture for your thing? Do you want me to pull it up on mine? I can get one in there. Log into my Facebook if you want me to do it.
Nope. I just made a whole slideshow for it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Then why are you asking us?
Yeah.
Just do it.
I just was wondering why we did Curtis's pick first instead of, doing the.
I think he thought you needed time.
Picture. Yeah.
I thought we were going to do one of his first. but that's all right. It's taking forever to load. I'm sorry.
I would make fun of the preparedness for the show, but I'm also sitting here with no camera, so I can't really.
Yeah,
Cast
Silverberger,
stones.
he is a beefy boy, and he's got some weight to him too. He's got some heft, so he's not a light figure. Like if you hit somebody in the head with this, you can knock somebody out with this guy. He's got some weight to it. He's kind of like I think he weighs pretty much the same as a slog. Like he's about that same chunkiness. So yeah, I would say he might actually even be heavier than slog. So,
and all those clothes are removable, right? So if you just wanted a big lizard, like you could do that.
Yeah, this is a Max Bird set. So he comes with he comes with like pants, like jean shorts that are not removable.
Gotcha.
I've got these over top of it, and then he comes with like a vest, and he comes with a hat that's all removable. So, and then Max Bird also has an orange jumpsuit like prison set for it. If you want to make him like an escape, prisoner, or make him like the Killer Croc from like Suicide Squad or something. So, yeah. And
it is not letting me add. It's not the slides. Not. I think because I already have slides in there, it's not letting me add something else.
Okay. Well, pull up number 4 for Duch, and I will just pull up the pictures.
Where'd it go?
Yay!
Dude, you're number 4.
This is my number 4. So this is the Masterverse New Adventures He-Man and Skeletor. These are just really fun figures. I know not everyone is a fan, especially the cartoon, but I think the toy line gets a little bit more credit. But yeah, definitely, again, when these came out, I was 6 years old, so they hold a warm place in my heart. I remember getting the He-Man new from the store, and I really think the Masterverse renditions of these are a lot more faithful to the original concept. Don't get me wrong, the classics had really good versions, but they were beefier and they were more like a vintage Masters figure, which New Adventures wasn't. So I think these representations top the classics. Probably about the only thing that could make them better is if they had a few added paint applications, which they don't because they're retail line. But the sculpts are quite amazing, especially that Skeletor and all his circuitry on there. So yeah, I've been playing and posing these a lot.
Very cool. I literally have no memory of New Eternia at all. Toys.
New Adventures, New Eternia is something different.
Whatever you said. I don't remember anything beyond beyond the original cartoon and then the 2000X stuff. Like I don't remember there being other things. I think I just moved on to other toys, I think, at that point. But these are cool. And I've seen the Skeletor in store a couple times, and he definitely does have a nice sculpt on that figure.
Yeah, the series is we've talked about this numerous times, but the series is just very difficult to watch. It's not good. But I do think there's some cool designs that came out of that series. And these are definitely two that are neat. I like that Skeletor, that his helmet comes off. I like the, kind of the see-through sword and shield for the He-Man. I think the designs are neat. I really liked the classics version. But for the price on these, you can't beat the price that, you get these for. So.
Yeah, true. I mean, the He-Man for New Adventures will never, ever, ever, ever be something I need. It's just, I don't like the design of that one at all. But Skeletor, on the other hand, I do always like that. The New Adventures, if you throw in a lot of detail like they did here or they did in classics, it really does make that version of him, like, you know, tenfold better, no matter what you do, especially because he doesn't have the googly eyes like in the freaking cartoon.
Yeah.
So yeah, Skeletor in that one, definitely a win for me.
And that was actually the Curtis point out the translucent power sword. I actually had the role play power sword as a kid.
Yeah.
That was my power sword to play with that translucent green and light up. It was awesome.
All right. Next
Curtis?
giveaway item.
Oh, sorry. Yes. So these are Star Wars playing cards from 11 Theory, or Theory 11 rather. If you're not aware of them, they have a website. You can order stuff from there. I've been finding them in Walmarts and Targets as well. And I think, Dude, were you saying you saw it at a Walgreens or something?
And Duch
He
is
muted himself.
muted.
That is correct, Jesse.
A Walgreens. Okay. But they're really nice. Like, I was telling the guys in the chat, I have a set of these. So this is a black and blue set, and so it's got like this blue foil. There's like branding all over the sides. This is like use the force or different things on the sides when you open it up, and it's like all art. Like they look like classic playing cards, but with the Star Wars characters as the face cards and different elements of Star Wars on the cards themselves. So these are really cool. So I'm offering, this is one set, so it'll be the blue box cards here. If anybody wants to enter this giveaway, let me bring up the hashtag. Use the Force. Hashtag use the Force.
Very nice.
For that. And yep, so they're really cool. It's a full set of cards. They're really nice. Like I said, there's like embossing. It's a really cool set of cards. They have a lot of different styles. So there's Star Wars ones. There's Dune. There's a bunch of the different superheroes. I think there's Harry Potter, Beatles, James Bond, all sorts of stuff. And they have ones that aren't like property themed, like IP stuff, that are really cool. So 11 Theory has a lot of really cool cards if you want to check those out.
Beautiful.
I'll bump that up as a, there you go. Hashtag use the Force. All right. Moving on to Sean's number 4.
Woohoo! So yeah, in the last couple years, I unfortunately had to part with some things in my collection, some of which I looked at this year and I'm like, I really miss this or I miss that. And I'm not trying to go a whole hog going crazy, but I'm dipping back in to get a couple of the things that I had to let go of. And I had 2 Skelcons at one point on my shelf, both of which I had to let go of. And I got 2 back in the last couple months. And I love this figure. This is one of those from Classics that for me it was so freaking cool to have, because like typically people might think if you like Filmation, he had his robot knights all the time, the hoverbot robot knights and all that. Or you might just think of, Beastman, Merman, Trapjaw, Triclops, Evil Lyn as the people around him. But thanks to lines like Mythic Legions, where you have all of the Legion Builder figures and all that, this figure became one that I absolutely loved having, as like they're right next to Skeletor on the shelf, to give him that vibe like he's got his own protection on top of his guys. And I don't know, I really love the design. I love that it was a figure we didn't get when we were kids. Didn't even know about it when I was a kid until I was older. And now that I know about it, it's a really, really cool figure as far as I'm concerned, like looks wise, detail wise, even the weaponry is exclusive to that figure, which is interesting to me. So yeah, I was really happy to get him back in 2023.
Yeah, those are really cool guys. Still, I think one of the biggest mistakes was the fact that they bundled that with the Roton instead
Yeah.
of releasing it as a 2-pack or even a single pack. Like
Absolutely.
that was a big drop the ball moment because I would love to have an army of these. Even though the hover robots are superior, Sean, these are still really cool.
As someone who's about Filmation, I like some things and I'm not a fan of others. Those always ended up having that trash can noise, and you just knew they were going to be fodder. These look like they're going to give the heroes a run for their money, for my money at least.
Yeah, I'm excited that you're piecing back together some of your collection that you'd had to part with, especially ones like this that really, make you excited.
Mhm.
I have no attachment to this character, so it doesn't really do a whole lot for me nostalgia wise, but it does have a cool look to it. And I could see, with a repaint, this looking very kind of mythic-y, especially with those weapons. But yeah, I'm happy that you're starting to get some of these pieces back.
Yeah, this character is just really cool. When you sent me the pictures, I was like, oh cool, what is that? And like it took me a minute to process what it was. Just because my brain's slow like that sometimes. But I really dig this. Yeah, this is something that if there was something like this in Legions, not because I don't like the classics, because I just don't really have any classics. This is definitely something that would be army build for me as well, because the sculpt on that head is just so fun. Like the colors and the textures and everything just scream, background bad guy, army build bad guy, and I absolutely love it.
And the scary thing is, from my perspective at least, Mondo actually has that on their Battle Cat box as what Battle Cat's lunging at, which scares the shit out of me now. Because I'm scared to death that that's going to be something where Mondo will come out with it and I go, oh my God, you're doing something I didn't want you to do and now you're doing it. But yeah, if these were more affordable, because they are definitely pricier because of the fact that they came with the Roton and that was the only way you could get them. I'd have like 5 or 6 on my shelf because I love these things for some reason. And the only other thing I could say as a critique is I wish it had a working jaw, because it's just in that there's no working jaw like Mythic Legions with the skeleton figures.
Oh, really? It looks like it is articulated.
Unfortunately, it is not. It is just in that position. But what's funny is the horns actually move. So you can have some where the horns are one way and horns are a different way, and give them a little bit of different, just give it a little versatility. But unfortunately, you can't move that jaw at all. So it is what it is.
Okay.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And yeah, Joe, they did plan to do winged ones as well in the line if the line would have kept going, and it did not. So that is something that I also wish we could have gotten as well with classics.
Very cool. All right. Last of the number 4s, and then we'll do the prize wheel for the cards. I couldn't get a better picture of this since I was taking pictures because I didn't feel like getting my ladder out and getting dizzy. So it is the Broadway from NECA Gargoyles. So the tealy one in the background is what I was trying to focus on there. I just love the bulk of this figure, just that they gave him like, that chunkier body build. I think the articulation on this line is really good. And I really specifically liked the Broadway figure out of this wave. He's also one of the best characters in the show, in my opinion. I think they're all pretty cool, but I just really liked how they centered a lot of the heart of the show was kind of around him. And yeah, just really, really, really dig that figure.
Yeah, I think NECA really killed it with this Gargoyles line. It seems like each one that comes out looks better than the one before it. I never really watched this when I was younger, so I don't have that attachment to it. I have watched it, I watched it earlier this year, kind of binge watched the series, and it was really good. And I think if I had watched it as a kid, I would be all in on this line because the quality just looks amazing on it. So, while I don't have any of these in my collection, I can appreciate, how awesome these figures are.
This is the number one line I wish I could collect. Like, they are amazing. They're wonderful representations. They're just so damn big. It's like I don't have any place to put them, and it's one of those things where it's not a huge cast of characters, so it's kind of like the turtles. Like, you don't just get a turtle, you get the four brothers.
Yeah.
Kind of same to me with the gargoyles. Like, if I'm going to do it, I need at least the primary clan of gargoyles. So, and I just don't have room for that, but they are amazing.
It's one of those two where, like, once you've seen Big Greg's rooftop setting for these guys, it's like, how do you display it not like that? Like it just,
that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, you got to go big with these guys. They deserve it, and the wingspan is just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm right there with Curtis. I never got to see the show when it was originally on. I heard good things about it, and then even with Disney Plus, I want to say I tried 1 or 2 episodes because I've heard about it over the years, but I never stuck with it. So it's not one that I have an affinity for, but seeing the figures has, it's very much like that's something, every time I see them. And I appreciate that, each one is an individual. It's not just they're all on one buck or whatever. I love that they really formatted it the way that it looks when you watch the cartoon for each individual character, and they look gorgeous. And I did see there was someone on Instagram, this was their figure line of the year. And when I saw all of the figures, not just him, but all the figures, like, I could see why. It's so interesting looking in like a group shot even. And then on top of that, like Big Greg with his display of it, it's like, I can definitely see why people love this line.
That's why I keep these way up on the top shelf, so they're not as tempting to Shawn.
Yeah. I'm like Matt too, where it's like I discovered by resituating my area down here. I mean, what we got, the Armies of Ashmore coming up soon. We've got other pre-orders coming out. I've got to figure out where Beastman from Mondo is going to go, and I'm just like, I did not think this through. Like, so like adding a whole nother thing to the shot, it's like, I can't pull that one off in any way, shape, or form. So I appreciate that you keep them away so that I don't have the OCD issue that I get when I start getting into stuff.
The one thing that really surprised me watching that series is how adult themed some of the stories are. Like, I never realized what, because I didn't watch it when I was younger, but like, in the 80s, we had like the little messages at the end of He-Man and stuff where it was like, basically like, hey, be a nice person and don't lie and don't, steal and this kind of thing. But like Gargoyles gets into stuff like, racism and gun safety and, just different elements that it's like, wow, this is powerful shit, like for a cartoon. So I think that's really interesting with the series, and then on top of it, you just got all these really cool characters. And like I said, I think NECA has done a really good job bringing them to life, right out of the cartoon and putting them on people's shelves. So great job from NECA.
Yeah, the cartoon was amazing, and just the continuity and how a lot of stuff that you like blew off in the first season, then in the second season, like comes back around. It's like, holy shit! Like, just don't watch that final season when they kicked out the original showrunners and did their own thing. Stop after season 2.
All right, I'm going to move to the number 3 just to tease up. Our number 3s are coming up next, but let's move back to the prize wheel and spin this up. Excuse me. So we got 19 users. We got a couple more seconds. Curtis, if you get the next giveaway ready,
yep, I am ready.
We'll
roll into it.
We'll go to that. We'll go to that next and start collecting hashtags for that in the next number 3. So hashtag use the force. Spinning in 3, 2, one. Again, this is for the blue set of Star Wars cards from 11 Theory. Oh, sorry, Nate. Stacy Lynn, congratulations.
Very nice.
You can just shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook, whichever one, and we'll get that out to you later this week.
All right, so we did Mythic, we did Star Wars. Now we're going to do some McFarlane. So we have got 2 McFarlane figures.
Wow.
One is the 0 Hour Hawkman, and one is the yellow version of Sinestro. So I've got these 2 actually sitting right next to me, packed up, ready to go. So we will do hashtag
DC.
Sure, hashtag DC
McFarlane?
is fine. Whatever, hashtag something. Hashtag something is the
hashtag
is the
something.
Looks like we got a hashtag capital D, capital C. There you go. You will get both figures. I will say I've got the other version of this the Hawkman, and he is fantastic. And the Sinestro looks really cool too. I do not have him, but yeah. So if you're a McFarlane fan, these are 2 really cool figures, and you'll get them shipped right out to you.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to move away from this and on to our number 3 picks for the year. But hashtag DC if you want to enter to win this pair. Is it both of them together, right?
Yeah, you get both of them together. Yep.
Pair of figures.
I here's what I did. Like when I was gathering stuff up for giveaways, and I was like, okay, I've got this box, and what can I fit inside this box? So that's why these are 2 together. And then I've got one more giveaway at the end that's got 2 figures together because they just fit perfectly in the box that I have. So
okay, and you have my other one next.
Yeah,
right?
I got the other one for yours next.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so let's pop that out and move on to our number 3 picks. Curtis, we're going to roll right into your number 3 pick.
All right, this is the Memory Toys Red Bounty Hunter Orc, which is a mouthful, but they've put out quite a few different orcs this year. A lot of them have a very World of Warcraft vibe to them. Some of them have quote unquote gift packs that make them look very World of Warcrafty. I kind of went down a rabbit hole with this line because I really love these orcs. Out of all of them, this one was my favorite. It's a chunky boy. So I will grab him here in a second when I turn it over to the other guys to talk about it. But he's bigger than your standard orc, probably not quite as big as an ogre figure, somewhere in between. So about that 8-inch height. Tons of articulation, tons of different pieces, different heads that you can put on there. This big giant weapon. I just love this thing. It is so much fun. I like all the different orcs they put out, but this one is definitely my favorite. He's just a really fun one to play with. Like out of all the figures that I got this year that were not 4 horsemen, this is one of the ones that I really played with the most, just like posing it and getting it in different spots and taking some photos with it and things like that. Just a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, this is a really cool looking figure. I haven't gotten anything from this company. Wait, did you say it was D20? No,
it's Memory Toys.
Memory Toys. It's pretty sweet. I do love the Warcraft look and feel of these. It just makes me I don't know what happened here.
Oh, sorry. I think I dropped something on my keyboard and it probably switched.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that weapon is ridiculous and awesome. Like, just imagine getting hit by that and like that's it. Like, lights out.
You want to embiggen me there for a second?
Yeah.
So here's a standard Fury Orc next to him. So let me try to get the feet lined up. So he's about, like I said, about 7.5, 8 inches tall, something like that. And the color is pretty close. It's not exact match to Fury Clan, but it's close enough that you can, flub it into your display and it works.
Nice.
So the proportions are the head is a little bit smaller than the Mythic Legion heads for the size that he is. So that's a little odd, but in your displays, if you're trying to do some Mythic adjacent stuff, you've got, people that are tall and people that are short and whatever. So, but yeah, I love this guy. He's a ton of fun.
Shawn,
you are muted.
I was
like, Judge talking to my speakers go out.
yeah. The one detail that I absolutely love about this is that spike with the skull on it.
Yeah.
Running through it there. And I mean, that weapon, like you're saying, I'm just shuddering imagining how that would even feel to get hit with, because holy God. But yeah, like a lot this year when I see people posting figures like this, there is that like, ooh, every time I see it, like even the X-Ray, the Rhino that just came out and stuff like that too. I mean, those are figures where there's a part of me going, I can justify that. Then the other part of me is like, calm down. You can't do everything. You're not going to do everything.
Calm down.
But exactly. Calm down. And then my wife's like, where did that come from? eBay. Sure, yeah. But anyway, it's a really freaking cool figure. The head being as small as it is kind of comical to me though, because it seems like everything else works, but then that head being like a little pinhead kind of thing is funny. But if you're looking at it from for instance, the Incredibles, Mr. Incredible has a huge body, he's got a tiny head and all that. It's like, it works.
He does have an armored head that's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
A little proportionally looks better, but I liked this look better. I did want to pull this up from Joseph Martinez, Mythic adjacent with some caps mixed in there. I understand, people use that term a lot, and listen, I ain't faulting anybody that wants to throw in a Superman with their mythics or whatever. Like, I've seen some weird shit, but this is an orc. Like if this isn't Mythic adjacent, I don't know what the hell Mythic adjacent is.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for some variety and you want some bigger orcs so that they're not all, the same size, this works for me. So I get it. That term is thrown around quite a bit. But this is as Mythic adjacent as I can think of. So,
yeah, I think you guys summed him up. He's a cool figure.
Well, Matt, don't get quiet because you're up next with your number 3.
Oh, yeah, I remember this. So this is the Masters of the Universe board game from Come On, the Class for Eternia. This is the US version. The UK did have their own, but this is the one that was available to us. So it's something I've always loved, the board game. I've always been a big board game guy. I know Curtis isn't a big board game fan, but I have always loved board games. So the couple He-Man ones that we could get growing up were amazing. And to be able to get this one with all its expansions and, a grown-up board game, if you will, with lots of play value, tons of miniatures. Like, this is just a dream come true for me. I remember back when Dungeons and Dragons first started coming out with their board games, and those were really fun because you could pop in and just play them with your friends without having the whole campaign set up, and to now have something like that in an Eternian setting, just a dream come true. Screw you, Hasiel.
You spelled board wrong, Anthony.
I'll jump in real quick. I know how much Matt was excited for this, and I know he was actually going to be asking people for painting up some of the miniatures as well. That's how much he was into this. I was not able to get it. I personally like the box art alone makes me go like, I kind of want a poster of that though, because that artist, I can't remember the artist's name for the life of me right now, because he did the heroes of Eternia and he did the villains too, and then he did the box art for that. But that alone is like, you know, like he said about the adult version of getting to play these games, or the mature version compared to the kid ones we had growing up. Yeah, I'm digging it on all those sides of it. But I'm not a big board game player myself either, so it's like I appreciate that he got it. It's not something I needed in my collection, but I know Matt is thrilled.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Matt got the idea that I'm not into board games. I actually like board games. Trying to plan out, you know, what we're going to do tonight. Kids are, you know, here, and a couple of my daughters have their boyfriends coming over, and I think we're going to try to plan doing some board games tonight, possibly. So yeah, I'm not sure where you got that idea, but this looks really cool. I love the artwork on the front. It sounds pretty neat. I don't know. Maybe this would be a nice one. Maybe we could bust out and, depending on how long it takes, maybe try that at MesquiCon. So
Yeah, I haven't actually played through a round yet. That's actually something I was hoping to do with my kids over Christmas break here. So hopefully we'll still get to that. You made a comment at some point about derogatory towards board games. I don't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, my apologies if I misinterpreted.
I mean,
maybe you were just shitting on something just to shit on it, which is definitely in the Ackerman stable. So
it's altogether possible. And we may have been talking about a specific board game that I don't like, but
maybe that was
in general, I typically do like games. So
I hate Monopoly. I don't know if that's ever come across, but yeah, I will never play Monopoly again. No version of that will ever get me to play that again.
Okay, so Four
If you-
Horsemen
if you
put out
play-
Mythic Legion's Monopoly, and you would not play? Really?
Nope.
Wow.
I might
I
buy
will
it just
say-
to have, if it's Four Horsemen design, I might buy it just to have it in the collection, but I will not play it.
I will say I wasn't a huge fan of Monopoly growing up, but then after actually reading the rules and realizing that my family did not play Monopoly correctly, if you play it by the rules, it's a really fun game. So
What
I
did
don't
you
know
do
what
wrong?
that's used. I know they would do a lot of things like free parking would get you like free money and stuff, and there were just like things that I forget everything, but there was lots of stuff that they did that like basically extended the game. Whereas if you actually play by the rules, it's still a longer board game, but it's not ridiculously long because eventually. Oh, and the other thing, they didn't auction the properties when someone chose not to buy it.
Oh, okay.
So then you're sitting there longer waiting for somebody to land on it again, stuff like that. So they were doing stuff that like extended the game, which it's a long enough game as it is. So
Gotcha. Okay.
Shawn,
Number 3.
you're number 3.
Number 3. So I had, I mean, I'm not like Curtis where I get on all these other shows. So I had to throw in a Four Horsemen thing somewhere. And for my money, Cosmic took a little more convincing for me to get into this year. And like, I didn't do the pre-order or anything when those were announced, but once the secondary retailers started getting their shipments in, I ended up going in and getting a decent amount of the first wave. And the reason I put this version of Oleg in here was when I opened him, he's the one that I was just like, I didn't open any of the others. I just had him open and was just looking and displaying and going through the motions with all the different things you could do with just this figure. I mean, I love, out of the two options, this one's my favorite still. I love the spacesuit. I love the design of it. I love the color scheme. And I love, you got that bubble, the bubble helmet that's displayed here, but then you have the one that's like a closer, almost like I'd almost call it like a motorcycle helmet more for him, and I like that one quite a lot too. But yeah, as the first Cosmic Legion that I opened, I literally spent maybe the better part of half a week just with him. And then I'm like, oh yeah, you got others to open. And I finally got to them. but for some reason he captivated me that much out of the box that he's got to be put in here for one of my 5 of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't spend a lot of time with this one when I opened it because I opened the whole wave like all together basically. But he's very cool. The details that they got on the armor and stuff is really good. Yeah, it's a really neat figure.
Mm-hmm. Now, funny because Varga is my favorite still from the wave 1, but because of how long it took me to get past him, that's why I had to put him on here.
Gotcha.
So
he's a really cool character. Obviously, he's one of the major characters because we got 2 versions of him in the first wave. I don't have this one, but I do love all the gear on him. I think that's a really cool look, and the colors, like, it just looks like, oh, it's black and orange, and then you look at it, and then there's like, some sheen, some of that blue sheen on it, and all the different things. Like, yeah, this is an absolutely fantastic figure.
Agreed. And I'm the same as you, Shawn. It took me, I had to literally be handed 2 complete waves of Cosmic to get into them. But now I'm hooked. So, and he is definitely
bad for you.
I know, first world problems here. But yeah, this guy is definitely one of the best out of the crop. So, the colors alone, he's one that I play with a lot on the shelf there.
Gotcha.
Nice. All right.
I it's a shame when somebody gets handed 2 waves at once and doesn't really have time to enjoy each individual figure because they get it all in one go for free.
Oh, don't worry. I spaced it all out playing with them, and
well, that makes it better. Then I don't feel as bad for you. So
I take my time. That's true. I did a donation. So.
I've never seen a person levitate until he levitated floating over to me and I won. And I'm like, no. He's like, yeah. And it's like the line that he didn't do anything with, all of a sudden he's taking it all home. And I'm like, first world problems.
And for me, it was more me going back to Jesse and go, fucking Duch won. Yeah.
And at that time, we didn't even know it was both ways. We just knew it was the Dio and some figures. So
right.
Yeah. Good times.
All right.
Last one for the number 3s. Mine is the NECA Alf. I didn't say this at the beginning. I forgot to, but all the stuff on my list are things I had been waiting for some time to get or find. So like Alf wasn't as long a wait to find. I found him pretty early to his release, but when I first saw it, whenever they announced him last year or something, because I saw people were doing like 3D kits to turn an Ewok into an Alf, and I was like, ooh, I might do that. And then I saw NECA announce it. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait. I know Dorklair and some other folks have done a really in-depth review on this figure. I'm not going to go into that now, but I think he's a great figure. He comes with a lot of really cool accessories. I mean, he came with a bag of green pot balls I was able to give to my Uwit figure. He's got the Pepsi, which I think's got like the name of the character on it. The only thing I don't like about this figure is a teeny tiny micro complaint is that the can he comes with is a modern day, wide mouth soda can, instead of what would have been on the can in the 80s.
Wow. And I thought Curtis was nitpicky. Jesus.
I said just because, I mean, that's like having the internet to, people, dialing on America Online in like 1985. Like it's that anachronistic to me because I don't know why. It's just a fixed point in time or fixed point in wiggly time of when those wide mouth cans started coming out. And definitely it would not have been on a Pepsi can at that point. So like I said, it's a micro pick, but the figure is great. The details are great. Just the way the jaw can articulate and like it doesn't just open and close. It's got like a pivot in there. It's a really great figure.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that obviously a lot of people talked about this past year. It got a lot of love, and I ended up having to pick one up. And I mean, it's a great figure. It hits all the nostalgia points. Kudos to NECA for putting this together. It's not. It's one of those where it's not an amazing, in my opinion, it's not an amazing articulation figure. His feet make it kind of difficult to get him in a super dynamic pose or whatever. But the likeness is amazing. The stuff that they threw in, like the extras with it, I think are great. They just did a great job with this thing. And, if anybody watched that show and loved that show as much as, we did as kids, it's one of those figures that you have to pick up and have in your collection. So
I wanted to say how great he was, but now that I know he comes with the wrong soda can, it's garbage.
all right. I've also, for those of you that need a reason to dislike me more, I also have him in my Cosmic Legion display. So there you go. Cosmic adjacent.
It'd be fun to put little like Elf in there and other little guys in there.
All right, so we'll give you 30 more seconds. We got 22 entries out of 44 people. This is for the Hawkman and Sinestro double figure giveaway.
I hope I win.
You're not eligible. You had to read the
what?
Yep. Yeah. Sorry.
Dang it. Every time.
So hashtag capital D, capital C if you're interested in this. We're going to be rolling this in about 10 seconds. Whether you are a McFarlane collector yourself or somebody that is, a couple nice new figures. These are just came out within the last few months. So all right,
here we go. Last chance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Click.
And if it's a person who already won, we'll spin it again for someone else.
I really think StreamYard needs a sound effect with that. Rafael Perez. So Rafael, hit me up either Instagram or Facebook. Give me your info and we'll get this sent out to you. And next, we've got a Star Wars playing set. This is the red pack.
Another Star Wars card set. This is the Sith pack. Yes, again, from 11 Theory 11. I can never remember which way that goes. I guess it was the light side and the dark side. So we'll go with dark side for this one. Hashtag dark side, 11 Theory trading or playing cards, not trading cards.
Is it just
the cards are the same inside? The coloring is different. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, the color on the backs of the cards might be different, but like the face, I think it's still the same. Now, like there is a Mandalorian set that has Mandalorian characters and stuff, but as far as the two sets, I think the art on the cards themselves are different. We're gonna go hashtag dark side. Let me edit that. So go ahead and enter if you want to win that.
All right. And then we will go to our number 2s.
Yes. Number 2.
Is there Spaceballs playing cards? I don't know.
Are we sitting or standing for number 2?
We are going to sit for number 2.
Who stands for number 2? Unless you're like
some people do.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Curtis is number deuce.
All right. So this is a little cheating here because this is one that I customized. But I was able to finally get this figure, the Mafex Hush Superman figure. I changed the head out with one of the heads from the black suit Superman. I also touched up the belt and the Superman logo with some brighter yellow because it's more of like a pastel yellow. But this is a figure that I've been looking to get for a long time. Mafex put this out a couple years ago. They were selling in the neighborhoods of like $300 for one of these, and I really just didn't want to spend that much for it. And then they did a reissue of it through Big Bad Toy Store. They had, basically kind of re-released this figure. So I was able to get it for, I think it was like $95. And I just love Mafex. I've talked about them a lot throughout the year. Their articulation is second to none. When it comes to superhero figures, whether you're, a Marvel fan, DC fan, whatever, the articulation on their figures is so fantastic. The cape on this, the wired cape, is really good. I just absolutely love this figure. To me, especially with the changes that I made, it's like the perfect Superman for me. I can't imagine a better Superman. So yeah, I just absolutely love this thing. It's awesome. I can't say anything more than it's just amazing.
It is really cool. I don't think you customizing it disqualifies it in any way. I mean, it's something you've been excited to get and are happy with. So that totally works in my opinion. I have nothing against the mullet Superman. And I think the way you put this together is really nice. I like the more classic look personally, but this is a great looking figure. And I think anybody who's a Superman fan would be happy to have this on their shelf.
Yeah, I'll second that as a Superman fan. I mean, Curtis on OffWorld has promoted Mafex more times than I ever expected Mafex to be brought up in any conversations I'm involved in. So therefore, I've had them on the radar for quite a while. The steel figure that he absolutely adores, it really has grabbed my attention. And, this one as well. I mean, I am more of the classic fan myself, the mullet Superman not being my traditional Superman than when I think of him. But everything about this image and the way that you did it, I'm not going to fight you today about that because you win. It's inevitable, as it were. But yeah, Mafex is one that if I had that in my budget, I would at least get, like the Trinity of DC and stuff, because I do like what they're doing with those figures even more than McFarlane, in my opinion.
Rob asked, did I blue tack the head? Yes, the head is a little bit different. The black suit Superman head, the hole is a little bit bigger, so the peg doesn't like lock in, so I did use some blue tack on there. So yeah, FYI. I really like, with the Mafex, you talked about the steel. I like the fact that they're doing like that whole Reign of Superman line. Like the steel is amazing. They put out the Cyborg Superman that's really good, and they've already shown they've solicited for the Eradicator, which looks awesome, and that's always was my favorite of that Reign of Superman line. And they've teased the Superboy, which has not gone up for sale yet, but some of these things, like you get in, they'll start going down a path of like giving you certain characters or a group of characters, and you don't get them all, which always pisses me off. Like they'll give you like one or two, and then you don't get the other ones. So the fact that they, because Mafex really only puts out like 2 figures a month. And so the fact that they've shown like that whole Reign of Superman line pretty much of characters really makes me excited to get the other ones and just, get it all together and see how it looks. So
awesome.
It's a great figure.
Moving on to Duch's number 2.
Yeah, I picked this. So I got the PowerCon exclusive. I forget, he's not Mythic Legions, right? Or he is? I can't remember.
He's
what
not.
he wasn't. But
he
is Demistros. He cruises in his Roton, picking up all the chicks. So this is a figure obviously I'm a sucker for the translucency, which made me have to get the exclusive version that comes with the translucent head and hands, which have been the only ones on him since I got him. But then getting him in hand, I'm a huge fan of his paint scheme and everything. He just looks really cool. and this is one that actually showed up while Shawn and I were in the middle of recording an episode of Legends of Grayskull, where I was showing off the Roton as a pickup. So I popped him in there, and he's pretty much been cruising in that since. He's my road trip buddy to Legion's Con, and it's just a cool figure with a lot of personality. I know he's like all reuse parts. People talk down about that, but fuck them. He's an amazing figure, and I love him. There.
Joe coming in with this with the heat.
There you are. There you are.
Okay. What I do is my audio still fucked up, or is he just being an asshole?
Your audio sounds like you're talking out of the inside of a tinfoil tank.
You sound like you're on AM radio.
We can hear you though. We
Yeah.
can hear you. If it's
One of those days.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Demistros and a Roton. But yeah, it's a cool figure.
Hashtag Demistros and Roton.
Yeah. It's a cool figure. And I know I saw some people commenting this week because he wasn't getting a lot of love on some of the top 10 lists and stuff. I mean, obviously it's reuse of parts. So it's Four Horsemen put out so many amazing figures. Like, even if you're not in the top 10, like, it's still a great figure. It's just they put out so many great things this year that, you've got to put ahead of this one. But I do love the tarnished look on the armor. The green head was a nice touch for the exclusive. The cape is really cool if you got one of those. Yeah, it's just a really cool figure. So
I do have his cape, but since I normally display him in the Roton, I just haven't put it on. So
yeah, because why wouldn't you put Demistros in a Roton? So
yeah, but if you do Demistros in a cape and a Roton, then you got an Incredibles cape situation where it gets sucked into the spinning blades, and it's just a mess. So yeah, he's got to take the cape.
The spinning blades, he's not driving fast enough, and he needs to move over.
You got to avoid it. Oh,
safety
first.
I'm saying if your choices are have him with his cape or have him in a Roton, I think most people are going to choose to have him with his cape because he doesn't belong in a Roton. But yeah, anyway.
Well, most people are wrong, so yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right.
He doesn't not belong in a Roton.
Sure.
This picture shows how much he loves the figure in 2023 because of the fact that he's having that much fun with it. Because when he brought it to Legion's Con and put it on the table when we were at the table, I was like, okay, that's how he did it. That's his way. That's his take on Demistros, and that's cool.
Ooh. Interesting little insider note here, real quick, from Joe. It's not easy to use that head without looking like Belphegor. This was going to come with different spiked pauldrons, but the head wouldn't turn. So I appreciate the choice in using pauldrons that allow the head to turn. And I think the bone paint version of it looks strikingly different enough to the Belphegor. I mean, unless you're comparing them side by side. And same with the green one. I think they look different enough with what they've done here that they pulled that off.
Yeah, actually the bone head I put on my Malleus to give him a little bit more of a distinct head. So I am using the bone head as well. But I agree with you, Jesse.
And he's on Stridor, just so everybody knows.
No, he's got a Fuzzmonk on Stridor.
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
Because I painted them for him.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Dude,
Okay.
you can put whatever you want to put in your Roton and spin it. In my opinion.
So for horses, I've got obviously Erethyr on Aethon, and then I've got my it was Bryophytus on Phobos, but recently it's been Lord Dragrul, the Hordak tribute. He's taken over Phobos recently. So.
And Magnus is in a Batmobile. So
what's that? I couldn't hear.
Why would Bryophytus been on Phobos?
It actually looked really cool, so I left it.
Okay.
Hashtag what's in your Roton?
Exactly.
I gotta do a toy room tour one of these days.
Hashtag
Just to see
who's on
Curtis's head explode as to how I organize things.
You can't. You don't. You just.
Matt puts together his collection like Zack Snyder puts together a movie.
Oh,
Exactly.
all right. Let's not get mean here.
You know what, Curtis? Maybe I'll wait until you come up to the area for Mesquite Con and we'll get down in my basement together and just go through my toy room.
I don't know that I want to be down in your basement with you.
I think you do. It's a ton of fun.
Sean, you're number
All right.
2.
Number 2.
My number 2 is Mondo Trapjaw. I know Curtis brought it up a few times, and I have too. Like this for my money, QC wise as well as just figure wise, this was one that really surprised the heck out of me by how well it was done. At first, certain design things, for instance, it looks like almost samurai armor coming down for the loin piece and stuff, and that was something where I was like, I don't know. There's different parts that made me question things, but then when I saw it, I'm like, you know what? It is the closest I've ever gotten to getting a better, and I wouldn't call this a better version to the 2000X one, but I would say this is really close to what I would love to see happening in a Trapjaw design compared to just the vintage version or something that's maybe a simpler design. And the fact that it even has like the pistons working on the arm, little bits like that. It's like there are all these little details that add up, and I love that you can modify them with the different heads. I love the you can even put all of his accessories on him, so it's not like you have to put them in a fodder bin. Like I know, especially the other night, Matt was saying how he hates that he has Ziploc bags with stuff all over the place of pieces he doesn't use. Well, this one you can display all of his attachments pretty much right there, and yeah, it's a hell of a piece to have on the shelf.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good figure. I don't know that I would put it in this spot. I don't, but it's a good figure. Mondo did really well this year, and this is one of the better ones. So yeah, it's good.
I mean, Curtis wanted to talk about everybody's figures, except if it's something he doesn't like or think is in the right place, and then he just kind of gets poopy about it.
I appreciate Sean's pick. It's just not what I would have done, but I see what he's going
I know
for.
that's why it's Sean's pick and not yours.
That's true. That's all I'm saying. That's it. Go ahead. Whoever else wants to talk.
It's a really cool figure. I still prefer the more Filmation colored version, but I definitely understand why Sean prefers this one. So yeah, they knocked it out of the park. If a Trapjaw showed up like this in a live action movie, I would be over the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I especially love that he comes with like the like the Eternia Championship heavyweight belt.
Fuck you.
He always has.
Come on, you can't tell me that doesn't look like a wrestling championship belt.
Oh,
Well,
it absolutely is. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm see, I'm making a joke, but I think the figure is really cool. And if I was into Mondo, I'd be really mad that this figure came out because I would definitely want it. Even though I don't have that strong of an attachment to Trapjaw, like in general, he's always been one of the coolest of the bad guys. And this version, I really like this look on it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be weird if you just got like one Mondo and it wasn't He-Man or Skeletor. So
I'm going to get a Masters Mondo that's not
Here we go
Skeletor.
again.
Because if I get Skeletor, He-Man, I'm going to want Battle Cat and Panther.
okay.
And and then it's just going to expand. So yeah. Anyway, this isn't about me. Well, now it is because we're moving on to the next one.
Yep.
All right. So we got a lot of figures.
Again, taking photos of stuff where they are. I was really excited to get this Brontus from the All Stars Troll Wave, and I picked that up at Legion's Con finally. I was excited when they announced those. It just took forever for me to get one. I even got like the harness and stuff that he's wearing from Lady Tank Studios last year at Legion's Con in anticipation of getting him. So that sat in my bin for a whole year before I got to put that on him. I just really like that orange color on him. And I feel like it's not a new figure, so it wouldn't have made the my top 10 list of Mythic Legions either way, or top 5 of just Mythic Legions or Horseman things, just because it's a reissue. But I just really like this. I think the story behind him is cool. I do like this stone troll head on it a lot more than the Cyclops head. I know that Cyclops is the way he is written, which normally I'll do that, but I really like that head. So there he is with the No Bear faction on my shelf.
Yeah, I mean, Braun is.
Yeah, I remember how excited you were.
Go ahead, Duch.
I was just gonna say, I just remember how excited Jesse was when he was able to bring him back to the hotel room, get him at Legion's Con. And, he is a great fit on a few trolls I don't have, but he's definitely on the list to acquire at some point. Yeah, it's an amazing color scheme, looks great, and I definitely get why this is at this position on your list, Jesse, even if others don't.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with this being in this position on this list. The trolls are all cool, but something about Brontis, like Brontis is really neat. I don't know that I would have gone for the Pulp Fiction cosplay with it, but yeah, he's a cool figure and definitely a solid number 2.
This makes me wish I had my troll still, so I'm sad, but I'm happy.
I'm sorry, Shawn.
Because it is what it is. I mean, this one made me want to get a Brontis because I was never the biggest fan of the Cyclops look anyway, but because that's one of my favorite heads for the trolls, right up there with the forest troll / ice troll head with the horns. Those were my 2 favorites, and ever since I saw that one, between you bringing it back at Legion's Con plus seeing it at your place, I'm always like, now I'm itching to get a troll again. So trust me, I get why you were so happy to get them.
And that's my least favorite troll head. I really like the ice troll one with the horns. I do like the Cyclops one, even the forest troll one. This is my least favorite one, but it just shows different strokes, different folks.
Hey, there we go.
Variety in this line so that you guys can, everybody can like what they like.
I was waiting for him to say so everybody can be wrong, but at least the ice troll head is the right one.
No, we don't all like the same things. I mean, some people like dwarves, and that's all they like. Like they don't like, any
okay.
cool
All right.
Here we go.
We had to keep him talking, and then he turned it around.
I'm sorry, Anthony. That was my fault. I will land on the grenade on that one. That was all me.
King Castle Sieger, if you're talking about that greenish gray thing in the middle back there, that is it's not mini, but it is a D&D like miniature. I think they called it the living statue or the walking statue, like that. I customized it into a stone plinth, so it would be like on a dais. It's supposed to be like the kind of like in Return of the King where they go into Minas Tirith and there's that horse and rider statue right inside the gate. It was meant to be that sort of a thing. It didn't sell at Legion's Con last year, so I kept it. And I originally had my Army of Laodicea stuff around it, but when I was moving things around, I was like, I got to keep that on the top shelf. It won't fit anywhere else. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool to see like a knight with all the snowy, barbarian characters around it. So I left it up there.
Gotcha. Looks cool. It was a joke, Joe. It was a joke.
Oh,
dang it. Made Joe mad.
So before we move on to the number ones, we're going to add, we're going to bring this back up to the stage. So hashtag dark side, last chance, get it in there. And we're going to do our giveaway for those cards. So make sure you get that in there if you want to enter for that. Give you another couple seconds. We're definitely running over 2 hours tonight, but that's all right. Season finale with the family. So hopefully you guys can stick around a little bit longer. We have our number ones to finish out.
And you're not going to want to miss this last giveaway. I'm just saying. So
yes. So we have one more giveaway as well. And while we're talking about it, I'm going to give away 5 more memberships.
Woohoo!
I will be right back.
Okay. So 5 more folks just got, now for now, that doesn't mean a whole lot, but I'm trying to expand and work on what it means to be a member and provide more stuff for.
It means
for
your
y'all
name
on-
gets to be green like cool Joe Gonzalez.
Yes, you get your name gets to be green. Now you do get it for free for a month. I think that's how that works. And you get like the special stickers, which I designed so well you can't even see what they are in the chat. Yeah, or maybe they unlock it 2 months. I don't remember how that works. Oh, there we go. Rob found them. All right.
Well, we got 20 people. Let's spin this thing.
Let's spin this wheel. We got 20 out of 45. 3, 2, 1, spin.
I had to log into the YouTubes to see the stickers. They are kind of cool.
Thank you.
J-Mac,
J-Mac
77.
77. Congratulations. I will be
Beautimous.
getting those out to you. Again, folks that are getting the cards from me, they will go out probably next weekend. So don't hold your breath for them during the week.
Why would they be holding their breath?
I don't know.
Okay.
Some people, you're not getting a shipping notification.
Oh,
What's
okay.
going on?
I did want to pull
Why are
up,
we on
there
the
was a
cabal?
There was a comment earlier that I had started. I wanted to pull up from Schmerberberger. Says Sligor and Novian are fire. Well, then how about we just give those away? Sligor and Novian together. How about that? What do you think?
I love it.
There we go.
So this is for Sligor and
What are we doing for the
Novian
hashtag,
together.
Curtis? Cosmic?
Let's go hashtag Vasapolo.
Hashtag Cosmic and Rotan.
Yeah.
Spell that for me.
Vasapolo?
Yeah.
It's Vasapoll. Oh. If they can't spell Vasapolo by now, they don't deserve a Sligor or a Novian. So
I was asking you to spell it for me because I can't see it anymore. I don't type Joe's last name a lot, and I am horrible at spelling and math.
it's Vasa and then like chicken. Pollo.
There you go, Jesse. I helped you
You
out.
said one. See, you said one L.
No, I didn't. I said 2 L's.
Yes, you said what? You said Vasapolo.
I said LLO, but okay.
No.
Hannah, it's an O at the end, not an A, just FYI. So Vasapolo. For this Sligor and Novian. These were from the second wave of Cosmic. I think they are just 2 amazing figures. Sligor has all kinds of different versions that you can make him the named character. You can make him the builder character. Novian, that body you can pretty much put any head on that body and it just looks like a cool space guy. And you know what, the 2 of them fit perfectly in the box that I've got, so it works. So there you go.
That's the only reason it works.
Yeah,
because they go in the box together.
Yeah, they fit perfectly in the box. So
I gotta agree with Curtis though. Like these, I'm not a big like custom guy, but like these 2, I am looking at these bodies and like, oh, there's a ton of potential here, and you see people doing all sorts of different things with them. So, yeah, these guys are definitely some of the best out of the Cosmic line, just for that reason. You can do damn near anything with them.
Yep.
I didn't know Vian but I'm a peon compared to Duch.
All right. Well, while we
what-
collect names for that, we want to go to our number 1s.
Yes.
So I disagree with Sean's because he's number 1, not number 2. Trapjaw is freaking amazing. I had to hold back. I had to not throw everything out there on Sean's pick at number 2. but I wouldn't put him at number 2 because he's number 1. He's the best figure this year. Man, I tell you what, I've been in the Mondo Motu line since the beginning, and this guy is the absolute best quality. Like the parts are perfect, the little piston movement, all that stuff that Shawn said, he's completely right. The only thing he was wrong about was putting it number 2 because nobody's above this guy. He is amazing. If you're only going to own one Mondo, I don't care that he's not He-Man or Skeletor. Own this guy because he is terrific. So fantastic. And I picked up both this one and the Filmation one, which I don't think they've shipped the Filmation one yet. I don't remember.
I don't think anybody's gotten that one
yet.
yet.
I don't think they've shipped that one out yet. I was trying to decide which one of these I was going to keep. I was talked into keeping this one or opening this one. And I am so happy about it because this thing is just fantastic. The colors, the articulation. He's the first Mondo that I had that I didn't really have to use a stand with. Like you can get him in a really great pose. He is so sturdy and solid. He is just, nobody puts Trapjaw in a corner. This thing is freaking amazing. And if you're not talking 4 Horsemen, this is the number 1 guy of the year for me. So,
I mean, obviously I like him. I wouldn't put him in this position, but other than that, he is a good figure. So, and all I'm hearing is since the Filmation one hasn't shipped yet, now your 2024 top 5 can also include a Mondo Trapjaw.
If I end up keeping the Filmation one, but due to space, I'm probably not. Yeah.
So as the guy who put this guy as the number 2, I could see why you did it. I have a number 1 that I will get to in a minute, and we'll go there. But I will say, from a figure perspective, I agree. QC wise and everything, it's flawless. I couldn't find anything about the one that I go like, oh well, there's this or there's that or whatever. We had that talk about Skeletor the other night, and there's people having the QC things with that, and it's starting to come up online too. But I've never heard anybody about this figure in any way, shape, or form. So I can see why you did it, but I had another one at number 1. That's all I'll say.
For as big as he is, as big as these Mondos are, to have the articulation that he has and still be as sturdy as he is pretty impressive. Like I've typically found not only with Mondos but other ones, like if you get a figure this big, there's a lot of times some looseness in the joints or something, or limited articulation. That's not what you find with this guy. Like you can, man, dude.
He's going to start opening stuff, crap. And the crackling's going to begin, and that'll be.
I think he might have meant to mute himself and forgot to.
Yeah, he's opening up his bag of Frito chips over there in the background.
Somebody keeps unmuting me. Like I'm not even touching it, and it's unmuting. So I don't know what's going on.
I unmuted you because I was muting you on and off because you were making some very personal sounds, and
I had to slow roll my excitement for this when Shawn put his up, but he's right about the fact that you can keep all of his weapons, all of his whole armament on him. He's got like hooks on his back, on his belt, and you can keep all the different attachments on him. Makes him even that much cooler because now you can have, like, I really like that clamp. I think the clamp is the best one on him. But the fact that you've got all the other attachments on his back and you can switch them out anytime that you want to is just really cool. So this figure, like I said, if you're only going to own one Mondo, I think this is the one. So
just from them thinking it through of how to make that all work, it put it in a whole nother level to me when it comes to what they've been doing.
Cool.
I don't really have much to add from the last time we talked about this figure, but I knew it was going to be Curtis's number 1, so I was just trying to egg him on a little bit, just because I rarely get to do that with any sort of the Mondo stuff. All the Mondo stuff is really cool. They all impress me, but this one is definitely one of the coolest looking Mondos I have ever seen. So
when I saw it at Sean's number 2, I was like, fuck, what am I going to say without giving away my pick? So yeah, I had to act like I wasn't excited, but totally. I love this guy.
anything else you want to add, Matt? You are not muted.
I went first, remember?
No, I don't. I just remember like grunting.
Yeah, he said that he sees
crinkling.
what I did,
And
but he wouldn't have put him in that spot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
We've
Then
also
we'll move
talked
on.
about this figure a lot now, so he's kind of overrated now, in my opinion.
So since your mic
What a
is
douche.
open, why don't you go ahead?
Woo! Yeah, so for my number 1 is the Mondo She-Ra. So this is one I initially had to miss out on the deluxe version that came out, and I was bummed. But then when they came out with the regular release, I obviously snatched it up right away. And I was able to go out and find the Filmation style sort of protection to go with it. So yeah, this is one. Love the character, amazing figure. Yeah, I love having her at my shelf.
I moved the faces around on the side of the screen because people are not able to see Jesse's face when he puts up funny ass comments because it's getting blocked by the name, and we can't see Matt anyway. So I just threw him down at the bottom because Jesse's face is cracking me up.
Well, number one, I want to shout out to Trevor. That comment, I love that one about the
I
what
thought
figures
Jesse
the
was gonna
douche bring when
snort
he
at that.
moved to the moon.
Yeah.
But then the other one that really got me was right here. Asapolo loosely translates to ship of chicken.
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. But anyway, going to She-Ra.
Oh, there it is. You got him.
He's gonna honk. He's doing it. Ship of chicken. Now I know what to say to him to make him just lose his mind next time I hang out. That's great.
I'm sorry, Joe.
So me being who I am, She-Ra is not on my I need to have it list, and Matt knows that. But I will say what Mondo did is a beautiful figure. I was very impressed with it. I actually was almost tempted to do it myself because I was really impressed. I did not, but I was really happy that Matt got to get in on this one finally, because I know when that original timed release hit, he was like, how I couldn't pull it off then, but then him getting it later on, plus getting the Filmation sword, I could see why it ended up being as high up on the list as it became for him.
So, first of all, not my favorite character. I did order this one, but it quickly, with the whole Battle Cat and everything else going on, and just the size of these things, I had to start making some decisions. So this is one that I traded away before I ever opened it. I will say that, I know Mondo had a lot of QC issues with this one, especially the face. And I don't know how anybody could put this number 1 with the issues that they had. But I'm happy that he's happy.
Well, I will say, so this is the regular release, not the deluxe version. So this one did not have the QC issues that the first release did.
Okay.
So there is that. I never had to deal with any of that. And the funny thing is, they actually still included. So for all the people who got the deluxe version, they sent out a second head because there was like a paint rub issue on the nose or something.
The nose was getting like squished.
The nose was squished.
Yeah, something like that. So then for all the standard releases, they included that second head automatically, even though my head didn't actually have issues. So I've actually even got an extra She-Ra head, just because they preemptively put one in every shipment.
Okay.
So, yeah, I didn't have any of the issues.
Little extra She-Ra head.
Yep. Can't go wrong.
Got here, said what's happening. Well, right now we were going through our top 5 of the year. We are number 1. We've got 2 left. If you're interested in the giveaway that we've got going on, it's #Vasapolo, which you can see on once I remove your comment here. There you go. So if you put that in the chat, you will be entered into the drawing, the last drawing that we're doing for the day, which is for Sligo and Novian Lean together, 2-pack. So there you go.
I ship it.
And next is Shawn.
This is why Trapjaw couldn't be my number one, because this is the figure out of anything that was supposed to be coming out this year that even my wife, she was like, what's one thing that you would love, that if that's the only thing that you got for the rest of the year, you'd be happy? And every time she asked, this was my response. And once that 15-pound package came in the mail and I got it out of the box and everything, this one, Battle Cat, was I was in awe of this figure. Not only the heft, the articulation, the different ways to display him, because you have the helmetless version there, you have the Mondo edition helmet there, you also have the regular vintage helmeted head, and you also had the Cringer one, which to me, I didn't really care about the Cringer one personally, but
the baby Cringer is phenomenal. Like the actual Cringer figure. Yeah.
It looks just like he walked out of the cartoon. I won't lie there. He does look great, but for me, like, there was no way I'm putting a Cringer head on this thing. I
mean the little figure.
The little, it also came with the little Cringer, the Cub Cringer, as well. And I mean, for me, this is like one of those iconic centerpieces in the collection if you're collecting this line, or even if you love Masters of the Universe and you only got one. And I know Curtis is like, it's either He-Man or it's Skeletor. I could see somebody buying this and saying that's all I need because it's freaking Battle Cat. It's huge, and it's like, I still, every time I come downstairs, it's one of the first pieces besides the Classics Grayskull on my shelf that every time I see it, I just smile, because it really did make my day that this thing is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you did here, and I don't disagree with it at all. For my list, I only wanted to put like one character from each line. Like,
sure.
I wanted to kind of diversify a little bit and make sure that I was, spreading the love a little bit.
Sure.
So I knew I was only going to put one Mondo figure, and it was either going to be this one or Trapjaw as my number one, because I mean, who would put another Mondo up there number one besides those two? That you'd have to be nuts. But when it came down to it, like, I think Battle Cat, I got what I was expecting. I mean, it's great for the size that it is, for the amount of stuff that they put in there. It is a great figure. They did a kick-ass job with it, but it is what I expected it to be. The reason why I put Trapjaw ahead, because it was really close on these two, was strictly because Trapjaw was a surprise to me on how well he could articulate without a stand, and just like the improvement when it comes to the quality of it on the figure side. But yeah, this thing is phenomenal, and I don't know, at least I didn't see a lot of people complaining about it once they got it. For a $500 figure to not have people bitching about anything afterward is pretty impressive. Yeah, this thing is just a work of art, and I have no problem with somebody, putting this as their number one for the year. It's definitely an impressive piece.
Yeah.
So definitely he was in contention for me. I purposely left him off because I had a good feeling Shawn was going to have him on his list and I would get to talk about him anyways. So, but yeah, he is definitely an amazing figure. The baby Cringer Cub is phenomenal. Just everything about it. Definitely a top figure of the year. So
yeah, and light years better than She-Ra for sure. So,
well, each their own.
All right.
I think it's awesome that you picked this one. Is the only Mondo I've really seen held in hand in person is the Battle Cat, Shawn's Battle Cat, specifically. because it was the day or the day after you got it. I was stopping by and you're like, you want to come see it? I was like, sure. And then he comes walking out with this giant green thing under his arm. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I don't think I realized how big that was going to be.
Basically the size of a cat. Yeah.
Yeah, I put it next to my dog, and my dog was scared. So,
so I think it's really cool that all three of you have picked Mondo for your number ones. And I just had to, follow suit with mine and not pick a Mondo because I don't have any. So I did say collections. I didn't specify toy collections.
boo. Bait and
what
switch.
I said.
Bait and switch.
Nope. I said
Hey, I had VHS tapes, so
that's true. That's true. All right, go ahead.
This
Duch
is
set the standard.
This is a comic by Carrie Nord called Folklore. It was a Kickstarter, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago, and it finally, there's only one issue, which was really disappointing that it's only one issue and it's taken so long to get, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's set in this fantasy world. The artwork is amazing. And it came with, like some stuff in the Kickstarter. It came with like some, what do you call them? Like bookmarks and some extra little cool things and everything. But I was just waiting for this for so long. It did not disappoint in and of itself. The only disappointment is that there's not more yet. But I absolutely loved it. Beautiful artwork, really fun read. And I can't wait to get to spend more time in this world at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, that's 2 L's at the end. Yeah, FYI, you'll need to put that back in order to qualify. So, yeah, I don't know anything about this, so I really have nothing to say other than I'm happy for you. And, yeah, that's it.
So is this something that we can get now, or it was just Kickstarter?
As far as I know, at this point, it was only Kickstarter. I don't know if they've made it available any other way at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Well, it looks cool. I would like to check it out. Apparently I can't, so yeah. I'm glad you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually was in on the Kickstarter on this one too, and honestly, when it showed up, I completely forgot, because sometimes with Kickstarters it takes a bit until you get the reward or whatever. And I took a look through it. Carrie Nord's work, I love this stuff when he was working on Dark Horse's Conan books, and that was at least 20 years ago now, or close to it. I
yeah, no, it was.
And I always liked his stuff, and I know Curtis and I think Matt also agree together about the Frazetta stuff. But for me personally, he channels enough Frazetta in his stuff to qualify as being one of the really good Conan artists. And then to see his take on his own stuff, this is the whole Rebel Moon thing. Like the other night, I was complaining how like Snyder literally just took stuff and that's what he did. He didn't do his own take. This book, when I looked through it, I was like, this is immersive, and this is one of those worlds, like Jesse said, it would be great to go back to, and his vision of what he wants to do is something that it's worth checking this out if you're able to. So yeah, and it's awesome. On top of that, can you not do that, please? Sorry, my son came down here dancing. It's one of those things for me.
Let the boy dance.
Well, you don't see what he's doing. It's one of those things that for me, it's just it's awesome that when you see some of the artists or the writers working in comics getting to play in their own sandbox and enjoy their own creativity and put something new out there, it's sometimes it's worth that, whatever they have to do to make it happen. And I think this is one of those cases.
Joe asked how many pages. I don't remember. I think it was a little bit longer than a normal. What is it? 24 pages is a normal comic, or 32?
I want to say 32.
It was at least like a longer, and I don't think it had ads in it because it was all the comic. It might be coming in previews eventually, because I do see some pictures online where it's showing with other like a studio print on it, imprint for the company, but it is spelled FOLKLOR, not to be confused with other spelling of it.
Now I'm John
Uh-oh.
Lithgow, huh? Is that what happened?
So yeah, it's like a normal full. It might be a little bit longer, but it is definitely a full, regular full page comic or full page count comic, if not more. But it's not like a graphic novel or anything.
I want to bring
Yeah,
it back
that's-
down here and play I Need a Hero just to save face on this now. Jeez.
Jesse, I think we got a super chat. I don't know if you saw that, but
I thought Shawn just commented on that.
I did.
yeah, I don't know if the people saw that. Oh, there we go.
Oh, looks like we got another super chat from Curtis Ackerman to make fun of one of our guests. When
I
did Shawn
expect
turn into the
nothing
dad
less, to
from
be honest.
Footloose?
All right.
Thank you very much for the super chat. We appreciate your patronage.
Yeah, very much. All right, cool. Well, that was our top fives.
All right, so my resolution for 2024, I'll let my kid dance in every single podcast I do from here on out. So then it makes me say, I'm sorry, Hayden. I should have let you dance and not finish my thought. That's okay.
All right. How many entries we got? We ready to spin that thing?
43
out of
currently
49.
49 people.
Give it like 10 more seconds, folks. Let's spin this thing. Then we'll talk about some upcoming stuff for the new year and close this thing out. So,
All right. Wrapping this wheel up in 3, 2, 1.
dun, dun, dun. Click, 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 click. Juan Diego Rincon.
Congratulations, Juan.
Hit me up, Facebook or Instagram, and we will get that out to you. So appreciate it.
Great. Punch him in the back of the head and say, shooting the shelf sent you.
There you go. So wanted to call out a few things coming up. I know Tuesday this week, we've got a new Legion's Lair. They got Big Dub on, so tune in for that. I think Jeremy should be back this week, as well as Four Horsemen-ish o'clock. Jeremy is also going to be on the Legion's Ladies this upcoming Thursday. So if you're not subscribed to that channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, all that kind of good stuff. They've had a couple of good episodes so far, and yeah, tune in. I'm sure Jeremy will have some fun stuff with that. And then next Sunday, we have our start of the new year, where we've got a new theme song to unveil. I believe we've got a new intro to unveil, and we've got a cool guest. Jesse, you want to talk about that?
No.
Okay. Never mind then, folks. Forget it.
So yes, next Sunday is our first episode of season 3, because we're doing it by the years, because, you know, I got my co-host officially at the beginning of this year. So just started a new season there. So season 3 of Shooting the Shelf starts next Sunday night. I believe we're sticking with the 8 o'clock time frame. I think that's what we discussed. I don't remember. And next week we will have Anything is Posable, Noah Pratt. I guess I can take this Vasapolo down now. Sorry for that. Joining us on the shelf next Sunday night. And yes, we do have a new theme song. There is not a new intro yet, but there will be by the time we go live next week. So it's a good thing I don't have other things to do, like start a D&D campaign and
live.
Exist.
I love the new slide. I just gotta say, I love you as Thistlethorn. I love me in the Sentry uniform. I love the Shooting the Shelf logo that you created this year. So this stuff all looks fabulous. Great job.
Thank you very much. But yeah, we've got Noah next week. And I'm going to tease this in advance just because we've already talked about it. But in 2 weeks, Wait, let me look at my calendar, make sure I'm saying this
Noah
right.
looks like you asked him to be on the show, and he's like, I guess, whatever. like,
Look,
I got nothing else going on. You know?
I just try to find the most recent decent angle picture of people without like being a stalker and like going through everybody's pages. So unless someone sends me something, you know,
Oh, would you like to be on our show? Whatever.
I
Yeah.
can't not go back to Trevor's comment about it's a ship of chicken. What do you want?
Yeah, it was, hey, you got to ship a chicken, you know?
So yeah, Noah's joining us next week, and in 2 weeks, 2 Sundays from now, what is that, the 11th,
Something.
14th, because Sundays are on the 7s in January.
There you go.
We have our second of the 4 horsemen creators, Eric Treadaway, joining us in 2 weeks. We had Cornboy at the beginning of last year, which I just talked to him today. He's at home recovering. Things are getting back on track. So thanks to everybody that's been asking about him. Not me specifically, but in general. I just messaged him yesterday, said Happy New Year. Hope you're feeling better.
You
But,
got your chicken chip right here.
Exactly. I love it.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Duch? Did he
Yeah, we
leave?
lost him. He backed out.
He's
So,
on the dark side of the moon now.
You
so-
said something about Eric. What is it? Tread something?
Eric Treadaway,
Treadstone.
the sculptor, designer, creator of Mythic Cosmic Legions.
Oh, he
Figure Obscura.
sounds like a big deal.
He is a big deal.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so
I can't wait to see see his image for the show. Hey, Eric, you want to be on the show? You know, whatever. You know, I guess.
This is going to be so.
Yeah.
why does he sound like he's from the Bronx making
I don't know,
pieces?
just that picture of Noah. Hold on, I got through it. Yeah, you know, whatever. Yeah. Put me on. I'll be on the show.
So Curtis will be doing all the artwork for the show going forward.
I'm sorry. It's funny.
I'm kidding. I'm
It's
just playing back.
I love the slides though. I do love and the fact that the logo's got green and both of us have green in our outfit. Yeah, it works. It's nice. You did a great job.
Thank you very much.
And theme song next week. New theme song by Jeremy DeWitt. It's a bang. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, it's gonna get stuck in your head. It's a Jeremy DeWitt earworm that's gonna get stuck. So,
and I've only listened to it the once so far because I know I'm going to be editing it, so I'm going to be hearing it a ton over this next week. And it's good, but it's one of those things when you hear a certain song over and over and over, even if you like it. So I was like, I'm going to save off and I'll listen to it and not wear it out.
there you go. That works.
Yeah, Benny, hope I see your comment here about your mom in the hospital. Yeah, definitely be praying for her. Hope she gets better soon.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to throw one more thing in here, Shawn, if you're all right to hang out one more second. I mean, you can go if you want.
Sure.
I'm going to bring this up because I talked about it a lot tonight, and they are really cool. Just so people can see the Theory 11 cards are really cool. Like there's
Wonka.
all sorts of different ones, you know, classic Star Trek, with this really colorful design on it gives vibes of like the panels from the Next Generation designs a little bit to me. I know it's being really slow to load. I'm sorry. All right. Nope. I guess I'm not going to pull it up, but go to Theory 11 or 11theory.com. And you can find all sorts of stuff. They also have stuff for magic tricks and different things, but they have a lot of really cool card. Wonka's got one, Warner Brothers, Harry Potter, Rick and Morty, you know, for anybody that likes that stuff. All sorts of stuff. This is not a paid promotion. I just really like these cards. I think they're designed really cool. I do collect packs of cards like this. And there's just generic ones. they did like a mystery pack a couple years ago where you got like a box with like a black box with like a red question mark on it, and you didn't know what pack was in it unless you opened it. So, but yeah, lots of cool stuff. Lots of fun if you like playing cards. There's a lot of ones, like even like charity ones that donate to different projects or whatever. So anyway, just
I do have one more question for you guys before we close out
for a moment.
One thing that you've got on pre-order currently that you're excited for next year. What's the number one thing that you're waiting for, that you're happy about or excited for? I'll go ahead and start since I just posed that to you guys. Give you a second to think. For me, it's Tharnog from the Poxus wave. Just getting a brute scale orc, just being able to kind of mess around with the brute scale. I know we got the Canox Vol, which it's I love the size, cool figure, but because it's got the cybernetic leg, it's hard to really do a whole lot just with that figure alone right now. So yeah, I'm really excited about getting my hands on some brute scale. Jesse?
That's stuff that I actually have locked in on pre-order is a very small list.
Or anything that you expect to get this upcoming year that you're excited for.
I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna cheat. I got to say Poxus and Flogus, the horseman and his horse for the Poxus wave. Just to me, the horsemen go with their horses. They're different characters, but they are a unit. So I'm just the design and the sculpt on those two. I mean, I think Thrace is probably going to be my favorite character in the wave. But I can't wait to see all that sculpt and detail on Poxus and Flogus in person.
Gotcha. Shawn?
I was going to say, because I was like, okay, what did I do on pre-order? And trying to remember. The first one that came to mind was the Azar, the two demons combined.
Yep.
But then I ended up sidestepping that because I think there's a sentimental one that I'll go with, and that's the Atlas and the Bear, because of my wife doing the pre-order for that for me, which she knew how much I really was hoping to get those, and the fact that she came through with that. And honestly, those are both, like, I really would like the Azahazar, but when I saw Atlas and the Bear at Legion's Con, I'm like, oh my God, I'm in love. And that was right there for me. So definitely.
Plus, Atlas and the Bear is the only toy photography that you're ever going to be allowed to have.
Apparently, and you know what? if you're gonna pick one thing, you pick the thing that you love the most, and you let that be the representation. Because I still can't believe that my wife's like, and that's the only one of those you're getting, right? I look at her like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm like, all right, fine, because I know we draw the line. It's like, do I pick my battle with toy photography, or do I pick it with the stuff I want on my shelf? And I had to go with the shelf. I just couldn't do it the other way around right now. So yeah, I'm sorry, Trevor, but I appreciate what you did, Trevor, at the same time.
There you go.
It's an amazing piece.
Well, hope everybody had a great 2023. We enjoyed spending time with you guys this year. Made it 52 weeks, 52 episodes. We're going to try to do it again next year. Every Sunday. So appreciate you guys that join us live. Anybody that catches us on replay, thank you very much. We're hoping to bring you a lot more fun and giveaways and all that kind of good stuff with some amazing guests exploring their artwork and their stories. So you guys have a great finish to this year and start to next year, and we'll see you guys next week.
You can even have a great Swedish to this year if you want to.
There you go.
It doesn't have to be Finnish.
Yeah, there you go. So until next time.
What's on your shelf?